Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second to last match of round two for the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Any Percent No Mount Skips Tournament 2024. We have a great one for you today between Dyrams, Mocha Jones, and Yaxo. All relatively new runners, but all making their mark in last round for sure. With me, I've got fellow commentators Razor and Sai.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
So, yeah, this should be a fantastic race. The entire second round, or we getting the entire tournament, has been nothing short of brilliant races left and right.
I think that's one of the best parts of this format that we've got going on is that players are more likely to get matched up with runners closer to their skill level. So every race is just very, very close.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw it in this round, especially with pretty much every match. I was going to say the higher seeded matches, but really every match has been really, really close. Some of the results may not be so close, but I think you're going to find that is down to certain things happening in the end game that made it not go so close. So it's definitely more than just the final times. You got to make sure you watch those matches.
All right, so let's go ahead and...
All right, so it looks like we've got two Pikachu runners and one Eevee runner. So another match where we've got some variety going on. We've actually been kind of lucky. We haven't had a lot of single game matches, and we're off.
Now, do we get any boy ones, or are they all girls? There's only one right answer to this.
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be at least one boy one. There always
Probably.
is.
Oh, we got a boy 4.
We got a boy 2, a boy 3, and a boy 4. I was completely wrong.
Okay.
All about it. Character choice does not matter. It is totally down to runner preference. Technically, it's optimal to pick boy 1 because you don't have to move your cursor, but it's a quarter of a second. Like it's not,
yeah, it's nothing.
Bad.
It saves like 3 frames. It's not, yeah. Maybe a little more than that.
Nothing. Mm-hmm.
All right, and we are off. So beginning of the game is going to look very similar between the runners. Basically just going to be going through setting your options, picking your character, setting your name, and then catching your starter Pokemon. Pikachu for Diego and Yaxo, and Eevee for Mocha. So yeah, it'll be an exciting time. I think talking about our runners, like I said at the beginning, all of them are relatively new runners. I think Mocha and Diego both picked it up. Actually, all three of them picked it up for the tournament. Yaxo especially has really taken to it and has already down to like a 305 personal best, which is absurd in that short amount of time.
A 305 is quite wild.
I still remember when 312 was a top 10 time.
Yeah, I always joke because I've been around since the game started, and I used to keep track of like essentially everyone who had sub 320 because there was only like 10 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, and just everyone has gotten so good at this game, especially within the last year. Like that 305 PB would have been solidly pot 1 last year, probably about middle of the pack in pot 1, and that time would be kind of like one of the higher times in pot 2 this year. So definitely a lot of skill increase among the entire community.
We've seen a lot of 301s and 302s.
Oh yeah,
which for the longest time, you and I both remember the days when what was it? World record was a 303.
It was a 302 for the longest time. And the Pika record slowly crawled down from a 304 down to, and finally beat it at a 301. And then
We didn't think sub 3 was possible for a while.
yeah, it was definitely a time. And now there's 5 people with sub 3, multiple runs across them,
Mm-hmm.
like probably like 10 or 11 total runs that have been sub 3. We had a sub 3 in the tournament, in my match actually. It wasn't me, but we had a sub 3 in my match earlier this
So
round.
when are you getting sub 3?
Hopefully soon.
I have the best PB of anyone that does not have a sub 3. So I guess I'm supposed to be next.
You'll get it.
All right, so this is the time where the runners may check their starter. So the starters are guaranteed to have 31 IVs across the board, so they're always going to have perfect stats. But the nature is random, and the nature is essentially determined during the catch. So this is your first opportunity to check what nature you have. There are some unrunnable natures for both sides, but it looks like all 3 of our runners are just going to go
All of
for
them
it.
just going.
You know what? I respect it. I checked mine this round and didn't end up using the backup. Runners are allowed to have a backup save that has a neutral nature on it, but obviously they're not required to use it. So
There are a lot of backups for, if they're depending on your nature, if it's like minus attack or stuff. There are backups you can go for. They're not the best, but they are viable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really what you're looking for is no minus attack, no minus special attack. Eevee doesn't like minus speed either. For Pikachu, it doesn't matter.
Pikachu is just so fast anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even with minus speed, Pika still outspeeds everything in the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are not normal Pikachu and Eevees. They have different stats from regular Pikachu and Eevees.
Axel pulling that split right in between Oddish and Rat both.
Yeah, our racers are going to be catching a lot of Pokemon. That's what the number in the upper right corner of each of their nameplates is. But you don't want to catch things this early in the run. It's just not really worth it.
The only exception to that rule might be Rat if it decides to run into you, but ideally if you get Rat, you get it on Route 2 after Force, but before is not a massive chunk and change.
Yeah, exactly. It really is a case of like all rules go out the window if something spawns on top of you like that. And you're like, and you have to like decide in the moment, like, do I catch this or not? And no matter what choice you do, you're always going to second guess yourself right after. So,
unless it's something that you've already had, or say Onyx in Rock Tunnel, and you're just like, no, just get out of my way.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do our rival fight here. We'll be able to get like a little bit of information on both the Pikachu sides, and we'll be able to maybe tell something on the Eevee side. It's really hit or miss. So we can sometimes tell if we have
roll and have it feel like minus attack.
Yeah, exactly. So we learned nothing basically on Yaksu's side. We didn't do enough damage there.
Mocha's might be. Is that 2 low rolls?
That might be 2 low rolls. Oh, they did get growled.
They got growled.
Yeah, so we didn't learn anything. Basically, if you take 4 damage, you probably have plus defense on the Pikachu side, and if you don't deal almost a third, you don't have plus special attack. So that's not a whole lot of information. On Mocha's side, the low roll for the attack could mean minus attack, but it doesn't have to.
Yep. Especially considering, so my last any percent run, I was neutral attack, but with 1 growl, I still 4-shot Pika because I had double roll rolls.
Yeah,
It's possible.
I had 3 runs in a row that I wasn't checking my nature, and I low rolled that first attack, but did not have minus attack.
It,
So it can happen.
It's such a troll. It's like, this has to be minus attack. No. Wait, never mind. It's neutral. Okay.
Yeah, so Pikachu runners are going to get their level ups here. The Eevee runner is not going to get their level up, unfortunately.
What is the Axel going to be here?
Let's see. I expanded my Discord so I could see bigger. Plus attack, minus something.
15 special.
So not minus special,
No.
but definitely plus attack because it was 18. So that's 17 plus
I think it
1.
might have been speed, but I'm unsure. And I didn't catch Diego's.
Yeah, I didn't see it very well. Plus attack minus special defense for Yaxo, I think is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was either Spadef or speed. Plus attack is really good.
All right, we have Yaxo going for an early bug. This is the one sort of caveat to don't catch anything that's not lured in the run. And it's basically because right before you enter Viridian Forest, you have a bit of a modifier to your catch rate. We call it the newbie modifier, and it basically makes things way more likely to be caught. So by catching something outside of the forest, you basically get yourself a guaranteed easy catch. And you can make your future catches way more likely, while not really sacrificing much in terms of experience. So it's pretty nice.
Yep. It is pretty nice considering how many of us have had breakouts with bug turn 1.
Yep. And like in my case, this round I got a Pikachu that I had to one controller and it was rough.
What level was a Pika? 6? 7?
It was a 5.
Oh.
And that definitely
unless
is
it's
minus
5 or higher, it's usually fine.
Yeah. We do have minus attack on Mocha's side. I did not see what the plus was. But that
Not
is minus
either.
attack. That is a bit rough. My personal take on it, on minus attack versus minus special attack, is minus attack is worse. Minus special
Agreed.
attack feels worse because it's probably more dangerous. Like
Although
you're not
there's
going to get
ways you can get around it, especially with, say, Nidoking strats.
Yeah. Yeah, but like minus special attack, when things go wrong, they go wrong. With minus
Oh, yeah,
attack,
they
it's
do.
like minus attack is like, oh no, I lost a couple turns.
Yeah, no, if I have minus special attack, I'm almost assuredly going with Rhyhorn and Nidoking strats in Hideout. Because like I don't trust the Eevee to pull it off at that point.
All right. So racers are going to make their way to the bottom corner here of Viridian Forest and pick up a lure. Lures are a great way to both increase the amount of Pokemon available to catch, as well as force them to be a really high level. So Pokemon in this region, Viridian Forest, are going to spawn between levels 3 and 6. But by using a lure, we force everything to be at level 7. So, and catching is just the biggest like source of our experience. So it is very, very crucial that we have this lure up for basically the entire time we're catching stuff this run. And you see the runners on the left there, because they don't have the second controller yet, having to resort to raspberries and one controller in their first catch, where Yaxu can immediately go in with 2 controllers, which has an increased catch rate, and just start catching stuff immediately. That's sort of the benefit of the early bug.
The only downside to early bug is it doesn't evolve until Moon, but most of the time it won't anyway. Is that a Beedrill on Mocha's screen?
Oh man.
Nice 1%.
All right. So
More Byaxo going for the glowing instead of the normal. Glowing giving you more EXP.
yeah, it's 50% more experience, but sometimes it'll be 4 times the amount of experience it's supposed to be. And and there's no visual indicator, so it's just random. Mocha getting a Pikachu here. This
That's
is a
really good.
nice benefit of Eevee. Because you don't have Pikachu registered in your decks, it is essentially a free catch. Is probably the hardest thing to catch in the forest outside of some of like the fully evolved stuff, but it is definitely worth it if you can get it. Like, that's a lot of experience.
It's a lot of experience, and for Eevee, the advantage to Eevee with like just means that with Pika you have an extra poke up front. Pika can make that up rather quickly by getting Sandshrew and Mankey, whereas Eevee only has Snack.
Yeah, so all of our racers are going to be looking for the two small bugs, so Weedle and Pikachu, as well as their version exclusive grass type, so Bellsprout in Eevee, and then Oddish in Pikachu. Oddish is probably more important to the Pikachu runners because it's going to be used for actually a couple of fights, where for Eevee it's just an extra catch, something we're going to evolve. It's fine.
Mocha still does not have a Bellsprout.
Yeah, they just posted in the chat about time to roulette, so they're gonna basically bank on the Route 2 roulette, which is a name we've given. So all of the same stuff can spawn on Route 2, which is where the two Pikachu runners are headed. And it's technically 2 levels higher, but only 4 things will spawn here. And so you're just not guaranteed to get good stuff. But luckily, if you need something and you don't see it, you can just respawn the route by going back into the guardhouse.
Diego with a 4 poke, though. That is about as low a catch count going into Brock as I've ever seen.
Yeah, 4 is like the minimum you'll ever see. It is caught Oddish first and then the 2 bugs. And the second bug was not glowing, which means it didn't evolve the first bug.
Yep. Good news is they have Oddish, which is a special attacker, unlike Bellsprout, which is a physical attacker. Everything in Brock's gym, they're physically defensive. Specially defensive, rather weak. So Oddish can basically one-shot the Geodude and has a range to one-shot the Onix, whereas Eevee will always 5-turn the fight.
Yeah, there's very rare cases that you're going to see. You can see a 4-turn in Eevee, like, if you got a ton of extra experience, but yep, almost never happens.
It'll be interesting to see, though, between these 3 racers, because I know a lot of racers, myself included, like to get as many things early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the idea is that you get a lot of early stuff, and then late game, it helps a little bit. So you're not scrambling to try and find random things to catch if you're running a little short on Pokemon at the end. Nobody wants to have to go get Drowsy or Diglett or
Venonat.
Venonat.
On Route
Venonat's
15.
2, though, so...
I mean, unless you're leggy and had to get it on 15.
Yeah, it's really kind of funny the sort of difference. So when the game first came out, we didn't know what the heck we were doing, and so people basically just like caught things, and then we didn't put 2 and 2 together that it made sense to, or at least for the first couple weeks, we didn't put 2 and 2 together that it made sense to catch something when it's like about to evolve. Like, we were so focused on getting enough experience for stuff, and then at some point, we realized the power of, let me catch like Nidoran on Route 10 so I can level it up once to get Nidorino, and then use a Moonstone and get 3 Pokemon for like basically no cost.
So you guys used to get it on like, well, just left of.
Yeah, I mean,
Meridian.
this was like the first few weeks of the game being out.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because we've kind of gone back on that now, and you'll see runners like Yaksu caught a Rattata early, even though they could catch a Rattata later and evolve it in one level, because catching Raticate specifically is like such a good experience bomb. So you kind of want
really is.
it's we've sort of gone away from that like original epiphany we had, and now we're going back to like, let me just catch things. Especially now that we know like how the catch formula works and everything, we can optimize it around that.
Well, there's still very much cases where we will intentionally catch things that are very close to evolving.
Yes, yeah.
It's not uncommon to see a lot of racers start catching Rat early and then catching Raticate later. You'll see people getting, say, Psyduck on Route 6 rather than waiting till 17 and getting Golduck.
Yep.
Pidgey early instead of Pidgey later, where you can actually get it to Pidgeot. But more pokes early means you can dodge things later. And the later catches are just a pain, especially if you have to worry about, say, Tentacruel, on Coughing if you're on Eevee.
Yeah, we definitely don't do it with everything.
Magmar?
There are some of them.
Yeah.
All right, so after beating Brock, our racers are going to go and buy a few things in the shop, mainly healing items, as well as our first dose of X items. X items are super important in every Pokemon speedrun.
Diego getting a Mankey. Nice little bonus here.
Who's trying to run away? It's like, those things just run off to Narnia every 2 seconds. It's... Mankeys are a time.
Yeah, Mankey. Sandshrew can also spawn here in Pikachu. The Eevee side only has the bonus of Ekans, but Eevee makes up for it by the fact that they got Pikachu already, so it's not too bad.
Where Yaxo just went through is one of my favorite parts of the game, where they teach you that you can skip the trainer by going behind them, and then if you do that on the next trainer, you get immediately punished.
You just get blocked in. It's so good.
This is our first gift Pokemon. We're going to pick up a few of these in the game. This is a Magikarp. The game makes fun of you for buying it, but we think Magikarp's pretty good pickup. $500 is a pretty good deal for it.
One of, if not the fastest Pokemon for us to get in the game.
And again, we do need 50 Pokemon, and you would think Magikarp levels up pretty quickly.
Oh no,
Mocha!
Mocha!
Experience spawn, but Magikarp I believe it takes 15 levels to evolve from that one. And every level up is like 2 seconds.
Mocha hitting an optional. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. It shouldn't be too bad, just because you're kind of
just a 2-shot.
Over-leveled. Not.
And at least this fight here doesn't have Pidgey. Jocelyn,
yeah.
I'm looking at you.
All right, so coming up on Yaxo's side, we are fighting the Bellsprout girl here. We still have Oddish out front, and it's just because... It's actually not because of this fight. This fight, Pikachu could do just fine. It would be a 2-turn as well. But the next fight, you really want to use Oddish for, because it is a Sandshrew. And the Sandshrew has Sand Attack, it has Poison Sting, it's got a bunch of really annoying moves. Eevee has the benefit of being a bit more powerful, specifically because it is a normal type. It's going to get a normal type, same type attack bonus from the Headbutt TM we just got from Brock. So it can sometimes one-shot it, usually it's pretty close. But on the Pika side, you basically just do the fight with Oddish because it's just a one-shot with Absorb.
For those who don't know, same type of attack bonus states that if you're using a move that is the same type as the Pokemon, you will get, like, you boost the power of the move by 1.5. So essentially a 90 base power move becomes 135.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful, and when you get Headbutt this early, Eevee just starts to destroy everything with Headbutt.
Ooh, Diego with a really good cutscene despawn. All right, Yaxo about to head into the major catching section of Mount Moon. There's a couple things we're looking for here. We're looking for Paris, which is fairly common. Runners can get Geodude as well. Clefairy is a big one that we want to get here. There are also a couple 1% spawns that would be really cool if they showed up.
Yeah, the main goal through Mount Moon is you want to try to be level 15 or higher. Technically on any Pokemon, but specifically on your starter, because
Really
the
dodging
next...
from Yaxo there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many freaking... Ooh, Clef. Okay, that's good.
The next gym requires a level 15 Pokemon to enter, so you can do Cerulean in sort of a backwards order, where you do Nugget Bridge first and then do the gym, but it's just optimal to do the gym first.
Doesn't get the excellent. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, motion controls will do that sometimes. That's
Yes,
an
they
unfortunate
do.
miss. And specifically on Clefairy, that's unfortunate because that's your main source of experience here.
Pika at 12. It's... Yaxo's almost gonna really want a glowing Geodude at this point. Or maybe we see a brochure.
Maybe.
We're grabbing the hidden.
That would go really hard right now for Yaxo. Mocha with a glowing Clefairy. That's really good.
Yeah, we're also going to see our racers switch over to Great Balls here. Throughout the run, you're going to see basically increasing levels of Pokeballs. We start with like single Pokeball, then double Pokeballs, then Great Ball in Pokeball, then double Great Balls. And we learned recently, like within the last year and a half, that the second player's Pokeball actually does matter. We thought for the longest time it didn't matter because the color of the circle never changed when you would change the second controller. And that's because the second controller does not affect the color of the circle, actually. So, but it does actually impact the catch rate. So that is very nice.
Shout outs to catching the rare birds, like the legendary birds with Ultra and a Pokeball.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's how we used to do
That
it.
was so bad.
We didn't know.
We didn't, and it wasn't uncommon to see 20 balls thrown at him.
Yaxo saying they're gonna need Zubat for some experience.
That's so unfortunate.
I mean, you have your pick of which glowing Zubat do you want.
You're not wrong.
It's true.
It's Zubat Tunnel.
Yeah, Zubat is kind of a last resort here because we want to get Zubat in Rock Tunnel when it's one level away from being a Golbat. And if you catch Zubat here, catching Golbat is kind of a miserable experience. So it's really not worth catching Golbat if you're in Rock Tunnel.
All right. So another thing that I haven't seen if any of our racers got it, but typically racers will try to collect 2 moonstones in this room. There is one guaranteed moonstone spawn in the center of the room. However, it does respawn daily, or has a chance to respawn daily. And so by setting our clock in such a way that we start the game on one day and then it hits midnight and rolls to the next day while we're in the room, you have a chance of getting 2 moonstones. It's not guaranteed, but we take that chance basically for a little bit of inefficient resets, I guess is what you would call
Yaxo
it.
did not get it, nor did Mocha.
Okay.
All right, I think Yaxo should be good on experience now with the Paris. This should bring them to level 14 here.
Yeah, that should probably be enough.
Barely, but yes.
if it's not something that works in Pikachu, it doesn't work as well in Eevee. Is you can actually fight Rival 2 in Cerulean first, then drop down, learn your special move, and then do the gym. You don't have to do that. You could just go up Nugget Bridge, but that is an option as well. Because part of the inefficiency
got double Moonstone.
Yes, Diego did.
Very nice. Nice 1% Onyx, by the way. But yeah, one of the inefficiencies with doing Nugget Bridge first is you have to go all the way over to the Pokemon Center to get your moves, then walk all the way back around because Cerulean is not a very, very well-designed road system. And then you have to go fight the gym later and then walk all the way around again. And so you can sort of cut out one of those, go all the way around by catching it later. Diego running into a Zubat by accident, probably not going to catch it. Yeah.
Nope. Largely the reason is because Golbat's just such a Clefable. Okay,
All right,
This
are
could
we
be
gonna
good.
go for this?
looks like he is.
Mocha is
Yeah.
going for it. Yeah, you definitely want to double
Absolutely
Great Ball
goes a
this
double
with
great.
Raspberry. I think it's like 70% to get in.
Yeah, about that.
Ooh, very nice, excellent. This is good.
Really
Like
good EXP.
one way you can supplement a bad nature is with a lot of
Yep.
experience. So
And it stays in.
And that immediately gets Mocha to 15.
yeah, just immediately fixes the experience too, because it looks like they were gonna be a little bit short.
They were going to be a little bit short. So getting that was actually the right play here. That
And now they
we're
don't have to
going
rely
for
on seeing
snack on
Ekans.
4. But I'd still, if I'm
You still
Eevee
go
and
for
I don't
Ekans,
have
definitely.
snack, you definitely go for it.
You still go for it. It's just now it's not a dire
It's
situation.
No, it's not. But no, getting Zubat early is not ideal because catching Golbat
Oh,
in
Diego's
Rock
going
Tunnel
for
is.
it.
This is a
glowing.
bold catch.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Moon Onyx. I think Moon Onyx is fine. Tunnel Onyx is a terrible idea. Never go for Tunnel Onyx.
Oh, Tunnel Onyx is
Absolutely.
a horrible idea.
See, look, the circle's yellow and everything.
It's perfectly fine. It's just you can never hit an excellent.
Yeah, you basically, if you're going for Onyx, you basically just have to tell yourself, I'm never gonna hit the excellent. Even
great,
hitting
though.
a great is phenomenal. Usually you just try to get a nice, is the way I do it. It's a very awkward way to throw in order to get up high like that, but looks like they got it, so very nice.
I might be the rare one on Onyx who always goes for the greats. I find the greats aren't that difficult. Excellent is nigh impossible.
Right, Yaxo grabbing the Helix fossil.
Praise Helix.
And we come across Jesse and James. So this is a double battle, not to be confused with two controller battles, which we'll see a little bit later on. This is just your typical double battle that you see. You're controlling two Pokemon against their two Pokemon. This one in particular is probably the least dangerous of the bunch. It's just a matter of whittling them down. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that can one-shot yet. On the Eevee side, you can always one-shot the Ekans and sometimes one-shot the Coughing. But Pikachu just kind of has to do this. Although, all right, never mind. Just forget I said anything. Because the Ekans just went down. What level is Yaxo? Is that a 16? That's a 14. I have no idea how that killed.
15? 14, yeah. 14 about
They
to
are
be
at
15.
14.
Be a lot of AVs.
Oh, Yaxo was the one that was plus attack, so okay,
Yes.
this could make sense, yeah.
All right, Yaxo completing the quest to get to level 15.
Yeah, it does look like Diego is going to be short unless he happens to catch something like in the very last minute here in Mount Moon.
Does Diego have any bonuses available?
Diego does not have a Clefairy yet. So a Clefairy could help.
Clefairy or I think just Sandshrew on... It's either Sandshrew or
they have
Mankey. I don't remember
Sandshrew.
which one they... Yeah, so it would be Mankey.
We got that
Technically,
too.
Charmander can spawn as well.
Yeah, but that's...
So I've never seen Charmander on the way to Cerulean. I've seen it once on the way to Mount Moon. I've run this game for like 3 years.
It's definitely not where you want to see Char.
No.
If you see rare Char, you want to see it in Rock Tunnel where it's a single level Evo. Three AVs and attack for Yaxo, that's really solid.
And so Yaxo teaching Zippy Zap, a special move that only this Pikachu can learn. Mocha also picking up the hidden PP up.
Makes you wonder if they're going to keep the fossil. Potentially.
Okay,
There's a
getting
good snag. That's really handy. Wisely switching to Pokeball.
Yeah. They are also very low on Great Balls, it looks like, so we're definitely going to see them grab the Great Balls before Cerulean. But yeah, so Zippy Zap is the Pikachu signature move. It is a +2 priority move that always critical hits. So it's very, very useful. Really versatile. Lots of good situations for it.
And we'll rather quickly come up on the special moves that Eevee gets, which arguably make Eevee better early game and Pika better probably mid.
Yeah. Yep, so they're the Great Balls. Yeah, so Mocha's going to learn 3 special moves on the Eevee. We're going to have Bouncy Bubble, which is a 90 base power water move that acts like Absorb. There's Buzzy Buzz, which is a 90 base power electric move that always paralyzes. And then Sizzly Slide, which is a 90 base power fire move that always burns. So Eevee's going to have that
Scald,
versatility.
but always burns. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Eevee's going to have the versatility of being able to basically deal super effective moves on like half of the roster of Pokemon Let's Go. But the nice thing about Pikachu's signature move specifically is it's kind of like the Groudon versus Kyogre situation. Pikachu like can make use of the fact that its special move is also the same type as it. So it gains like ridiculous bonus after bonus because it's a critical hit and it's the same type attack bonus. You know, and it's
Diego
high
going
priority
for the candy
it's
instead.
nice.
Backup candy, okay.
Were they 14? Was
Yes.
he 14 or was
Yeah,
he...
they were 14.
Yes, they were 14.
I think they hit 14 on Jesse and James.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they were still 13, so I was like, I don't know if I agree with this.
Rather
but if you're
than
14,
doing
that's
early
fine.
rival, they're opting to go with the candy instead.
Yeah, early rival has its problems, to say the
It
least.
absolutely does.
So this is totally, especially because I don't think rival is going to get you enough experience to hit 15
No.
if you just hit it on Jesse and James. So
And Diego's already minus special attack as it is.
true. Yeah. Okay.
Whereas Mocha is plus special attack but minus attack.
And there's that plus special attack coming in handy. That is one of the
Yup.
most annoying ranges because it's not like it's a dangerous fight. It's just, it's like, why does it live on 2 HP every time?
It's that lovely modest nature coming into play. Pikachu, of course, has a massive advantage here where they can quite often two-turn this fight and OHKO the Starmie. Eevee, unless you're really, really lucky and really high level, will not two-shot it. So Eevee will run the risk of taking a Scald and potentially getting burned.
Yeah, I just checked in on the other race just to see where they were, and there was a burned Starmie on Agatha.
That is
Burned Starmie. Wait. How do you get a burned Starmie on Agatha?
What has? I'm assuming it's Will-O-Wisp. What has Will-O-Wisp?
That's
on
my
that
guess. Is Will-O-Wisp.
What?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that one.
Okay.
Why would the Gengar not go for Shadow Ball? That doesn't make any sense. All right, whatever.
I have
Anyways,
no
this
idea.
race-
That
I need
makes
to go
no
back and rewatch
sense.
that race. I have a lot
for
of
this race-
questions.
What?
But yeah, so the Misty fight here is sort of the first. It's technically the second use of X items, but the first sort of traditional use of it, where you basically set up to start the fight, and then just sort of spam your best moves for the rest of it.
X
Pikachu
items
able to
being the
one-shot.
staple of Pokemon speedruns in general.
Yeah, and they are very good in this game. Up until Generation 7. Oh no!
Diego
No!
missed the KO.
No!
How did we miss? Oh, one for Swift.
Okay.
I think we have to center, right? Because we don't have revives
You
yet.
have to center. Yeah.
Yep. That's the first time Pika's died to Misty in this tournament.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so
It's a
if you're
rarity.
not if you're not minus attack, the worst that range can be is a 5 and 16, which is not very good. That is like 31%. But you have to have like minimum attack for that to happen. So that is unfortunate.
Wild. That's really
You're like almost probably like no AVs in attack.
Yeah.
At least when they center heal here, it's very slow, to be fair. They only have 2 pokes, so they're not dealing with 6.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. All right, so moving on along Nugget Bridge. Really not a whole lot to talk about. Eevee fares a little bit better overall on Nugget Bridge. Specifically, the third trainer has a Sandshrew. And you're going to notice a trend of Sandshrews and Rhyhorns causing the Pikachu side a lot of problems. There are a bunch of creative ways that we can handle them. This one, the main 2 ways you're going to see are either the Pikachu just sort of brute forcing it with Headbutt, or using 2 controllers, so that way Oddish can take care of the Sandshrew while the Pikachu does something more productive like healing. And then the coughing that is on the fight that Yaxo just went into is just a little bit better of a range in Eevee than it is in Pikachu. So you'll probably see most of our Pikachu runners either using 2 headbutts or going for Zippy Zap and missing the range. While you're
Unless
probably
you
going to see
forward
Mocha actually hit the
plus
range.
attack.
Yeah.
Yaxo will probably OHKO the coughing, I would imagine, here.
I don't know. At only level 17, it's not going to be the most likely. All right, there we go. Crit mattered. I'm going to
Plus
say it.
attack with crit matter. Not like it always crits.
It mattered.
Thank you, Pokemon, for giving us these moves that are completely busted.
No bonuses for Yaxo.
So, Eda, are you a proponent of going for Venonat there on 25 if you see it?
For me, unless I don't have a lot of Pokemon coming out of Mount Moon, like if I got like bare minimum stuff coming out of Mount Moon, I will typically not go for Venonat by itself, but going for Venonat along with Meowth, I think is good. And the Eevee side specifically. There's no extra bonus up there for Pikachu. It is Venonat, or like you catch Psyduck and lock yourself out of Golduck. But yeah, so I tend to... Venonat to me is a...
Pain?
Well, not just a pain, but it's an extra like Pokemon that you're catching kind of fall into like 3 camps, right? You've got the Pokemon that are useful, so think like the Growlithe and the Oddish on Pikachu's side. Like those are things you're planning to use for something. Then you've got the Pokemon that are caught for experience purposes. So this is like everything in Mount Moon, or like Jigglypuff on Route 6. A lot of the stuff on Route 10 is also for experience. And then you've got the Pokemon that just pad out your catch count. And so to me, Venonat is a pad out your catch count Pokemon. So it's not worth a lot to me.
Agreed.
But like if, let's say there was no Golduck on Route 17, so you could, or there was no Psyduck, so you could never catch Golduck ever. I would go up there for a Psyduck almost every time because it's like good experience.
I usually
It is.
I'm an Eevee runner, so I usually go up for Venonat if there's something else there. Like if there's a Venonat and a Meowth, I'll go for it.
Exactly.
Agreed. If it's there with something else, then yes. If it's not, then no. Which Venonat is one of the more hotly debated ones, where some players like getting it and others not so much.
All right, Yaxo making their way down out of Cerulean. They have saved Bill. We're going to see a Squirtle here. We are not going to get the Squirtle. It's like, was it like 60 catches or something?
It is 60, yes.
Yeah.
It's 60
Ooh,
actual catches. And
2 cats.
they will go for it. If I see Meowth here, I absolutely go for it on Eevee, for sure. Meowth is almost guaranteed, even with a 1-ball excellent.
Does a Eevee AOP still chain like 11 Meowths at the end?
Unfortunately, yes.
Wish there
It's
was
a
a
rough
better way to
time.
do that.
It's such a bad time.
So awful.
If only they made the bonus like 6 catch chain instead of 11.
Agreed.
Okay, so this is something that is not on the commentator bingo card, and I've been waiting to commentate to bring this up. And I think Etiquette, you'll be one of the best people to explain this because I know you absolutely hate this mechanic in the game.
Oh god.
We saw Yaxo pick up an ether on the way to Bill's house, but Mocha skipped that ether. There is actually a reason behind that.
Yes.
Both games need PP restoring items, but for whatever reason, Game Freak decided to give this game the dumbest bag in the history of Pokemon.
Oh my, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so essentially the bag, well, okay, the bag itself I kind of like compared to some of the other bags in Pokemon because it's like a grid. Instead of it being a list of items, it's a grid of items. So you can do things like I want to go left or right or up and down, right? And because of that, when you're in the bag in a battle, if the X items are always going to be at the end of your bag, so you can hit up to go like from the top down to the bottom, or you can technically go left as well to sort of cycle back to the bottom like at the same time. So what we're trying to do is set up what's called God menu, where when you go left one, you get to your X attacks or X special attacks. And if you go up one instead, you go to the other one. So you want to basically have let's see, it's 4 across. So I think you end up with like 10 total items. So you have an overflow of 2. And so that's what we're trying to do. And so the Pikachu side buys an X defense early, and also picks up an ether early. So that way it pads out its inventory to have those 2 extra slots. The Eevee side pads out those extra slots with a paralyze heal and a burn heal. Otherwise, all of the items are the same between the two. It's just a matter of how do you get to the right number of items. And that's why it's kind of unfortunate that like the Eevee side can't really pick up that ether for safety, because it it would mess up its menu. By the way, Yaxu just getting the biggest puppy I think I've ever seen. That was so much
Easily
experience.
the largest puppy I've ever seen.
Giant puppy.
Wumbo puppy. There's the 4X experience we were talking about. Also, shoutouts to Etty for finding the God menu on Eevee, I do believe.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, we weren't picking up we actually picked up the ether there, and we didn't grab the paralyze heals. Now we do.
The other strange quirk about this game with the bag is that the game has like a weird memory of where things go in the bag.
Oh my god, don't get me started on this. You want to know what the weirdest one is? The weirdest thing of this whole bag memory situation is if you pick up what's the right order for it? There's some way for you to ruin your position of your lures. It's like if you pick up the lure outside Bill's house, then your lures are like in the wrong spot for the rest of the run.
What?
But, like you don't gain any items between that lure and the extra lure. It doesn't make any sense. Like there's some weird things like that. There's like some nugget shenanigans that'll happen. Your SS ticket can randomly be before or after your lures in the bag. The whole thing makes no sense. And it doesn't help that like on the Eevee side, right? You buy X attacks first, then you buy X special attacks in both shops. But for some reason, your X specials will be before your X attacks in your final menu.
It makes no sense.
That's what it is. That's what it is. If you do Nugget Bridge first, and then Misty afterward, the SS ticket goes into your bag, which ruins the spot of the lure. That's what it is.
What?
This game makes no sense.
I have so many questions for Game
Welcome
Freak.
PSR TV 1. Thank you for the raid.
13-minute PB for Burner. Let's go.
Yo, that is awesome.
Heck yeah.
What time
Also,
for Burner?
first of all, Chansey for Yaxo there with no like excellence or anything. Also,
13-minute
Mocha
PB
going
even
for
with
a
that
Vulpix,
optional on
which
17.
is a
That is
great
wild.
Pokemon to catch in Eevee version, and it also fixes what is called the even and odd problem. For the most part, most Pokemon you catch are going to be like 2 Pokemon. You're going to catch one thing and then it'll evolve, and you'll always be on like an even number. But if you somehow get a certain amount of bonus Pokemon and now you're on an odd number, you can always pick up a Firestone to turn that Vulpix into a Ninetales to get you back on an even number to hit this 50 at the end of the run.
Yaxo already has large part because of that Wumbo pup. And Chansey.
Yeah, the Pikachu runners, we didn't get to talk about it because we were off on a tangent. Nice trainer skip, by the way, by Yaxo.
Yep.
The Pikachu runners really, 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 really want to see a Growlithe here. So it's really good luck that both of our runners got it. Pikachu is going to struggle through this next section by itself. Specifically the Route 10 or Route 9 section, Rock Tunnel, and even actually the rival fight coming up on SSN. And so Growlithe is a really good partner to use for the boat rival as well as all the fights on Route 9. It's going to get a little bit outclassed after that just because the levels is going to spike up quite a bit. But Growlithe is also able to be evolved into Arcanine, which is one of the fastest ride Pokemon available in the game. And so Pikachu is going to be able to get a faster ride Pokemon just a little bit earlier than the EV side is going to be able to.
$20 pokes on Rival 3.
That is crazy.
That's that Chansey EXP coming into play.
A little too far
No,
to the left there for
Mocha!
A little too far to the left there.
Yep.
That is probably the hardest trainer skip in the run.
It's probably the hardest, but it's far from the least. Well, I'd argue the most nerve-wracking is Alexa.
Yes. Yeah, this is not the worst trainer skip to miss. Both these trainers only have one Pokemon. On Eevee version, we have a move that hits all of them super effectively. On Pika version, I'm pretty sure it's a one-shot on both for Pika as well.
I think the Bellsprout can be a two-shot, but
Bellsprout is a true shot, correct?
yeah.
Because you don't have a super effective move against it.
Diego trying to set up, but this Pidgey is going to be in the way.
Oh,
And so gets through it with the lure expiring at possibly the worst time.
that is the
imaginable.
worst time.
What's funny is I think that was like that's a bad time for the lure to wear off, but I feel like it might have saved him because I think he was
so.
veering a little bit to the right.
I think so too. I was like,
which is
that
awesome.
might just hit.
Diego is missing a nugget. It doesn't matter because they have the PP up.
They're still about 3K short of where they're supposed to be, though. Oh, it's because he died to Misty.
Yep.
I bet that cost.
No, Diego.
No, 'cause he
Diego
didn't
beat
actually-
Misty.
He didn't actually wipe. That's
Yeah,
right,
he beat it with the Oddish.
Well, he didn't.
Did he not sell the Pokeballs?
No.
Oh, that would do it.
Okay, Diego realizing we need to sell the Pokeballs here.
Only has 25 though.
And selling the free Premier Ball that we just got.
Respect. What else? I mean, you don't want to a lot in a race, but you can sell the revives. The revives are like 1,000 a piece. Could always
Or
make
what you can do in this case is grab the nugget in.
Yeah.
I
Nugget on
think that's the
SSN.
better play is grab the SSN nugget.
Yes.
And then like these X specials should get you maybe to like Lavender, and you could just pop into the Lavender Mart real quick.
Yep.
Sell the nugget. Buy the rest of your X specials. You definitely don't. You need to be careful. Because we do have to purchase the ability to synchronize later, which is 10,000.
Yes, we do.
So that'd be really easy to forget.
We've seen runners not sync nature before.
We have. All right. So we kind of missed it on Yaxo's side, but the Rival 3 fight is going to look kind of similar between the two games. Both sides are going to be two controllering, and basically beefing up one side while the other side is using X items. So we're going to see an X special here, followed by a Buzzy Buzz to take out the Pidgeotto. And then We're going to switch over to X attacks on the Eevee side and start headbutting or sizzly sliding into the Pikachu or Oddish. On the Pikachu side, Pikachu can handle the Pidgeotto as well as the Eevee, but the Oddish is a little bit more trouble, so that's why Growlithe is there, because for some reason Game Freak decided to give Growlithe the move Flamethrower at level 17.
Makes a lot of sense. Because Vulpix doesn't get it until a lot later.
Yeah.
They knew we were going to need it.
They did.
It was to make up for the stupid bag mechanics and other weird quirks this game has.
And the fact that they Pika, unless you get Pidgeotto or, more importantly, Abra, you have nothing else to help you through the midsection. So if not for Flamethrower, yeah, that would Pika would be a lot worse.
Yeah, if you are going to go for the SSN Nugget, I know Etiquette just mentioned it in chat,
Yep.
but if you are going to go for the Nugget, you want to defeat or actually pick up cut, chop down, whatever it's called, because that actually despawns all the trainers on the boat. You don't have to fight anybody.
Thankfully.
Speaking of things that happened like the third week of the game being out, somebody was like, "Oh, I didn't fight these trainers, but look, they're turned off," and we all were in a frenzy on like, "Oh my god, we can skip like every trainer," and then it turned out that
the random underground items. No, don't do that.
Do not do that.
Iron,
I
no.
did that. I did that in my round 2 race. It worked, but it won't always work.
Sometimes you get a pretty feather.
Yeah, I was basically reserved to getting a pretty feather, and I got a big pearl. I was like, well, let me just
that's
buy.
cool.
Yeah, because I was minus speed, so I wanted to buy 1x speed for Rival 4. And so because I got the big pearl, I was just like, I'm just going to buy X speeds for the run. And so I just had X speeds in my bag for the entire run.
I was wondering why in the world you'd had all the X speeds early. I'm like, oh, you're minus speed. Okay, this tracks.
Yeah, so I just had to remember when I got to Saffron, I'm like, don't buy X speeds. Don't buy X speeds. All right, so we see Yaxu going
caught it.
through Route 9.
They did.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So the trainers here are turned off. They will not see you. So you can just walk right in, grab the nugget, and walk right out. Very nice.
And it's an AOP item that I ended up grabbing because AOP brain in my first race.
Alright, so Diego should have enough money to pick up the rest of the items needed for the run. Just go in, sell the nugget, buy some X special attacks, and should be good, or can do it in Lavender, either way.
Yeah. Yeah, they turned off the trainers because they really did not want you to death warp in this game.
I could write
No,
a
they
novel
didn't.
about how stupid death warping is in this game.
I mean, Etta and I have both done Professor Zook's challenge in this game, and we do death warp.
I'm shocked that death warp works. I will be quite honest.
Wait, which one? No other death warp in this game works.
So you can go into the center where you buy Magikarp, then go through Mount Moon, go all the way to Bill, and then death warp back to before Mount Moon. So that does work. But like,
It does.
if you were to death warp now, I think you spawn back in Vermilion.
A Pokemon
Like,
center
they
you've
really-
never gone into.
Yeah, they really don't want you to do that.
They really don't. And that death warp, courtesy of Etta, is why Professor Zook's challenge actually works, because we chain to get the rare char and the Squirtle.
Yeah, if we could death warp coming out of boat, we could actually skip this entire walk back. It's probably like the only useful place death warping would be. You could just die to Mina. Mina's right outside the boat, and I don't know what she has Elite Four. I know post Elite Four she has some stupid high level team.
You'd have to have like a level 2 poke or something to
Yeah, I
die
think you
really
just bend you to
quickly.
like Magikarp or something. Just get, like
Probably.
annihilated.
That could in theory work, but then you're having to deal with 2 menus.
All right. So Yaxo is on Route 10. Route 10 is like your next big catching section, or it kicks off the next big catching section, I should say, between this and Rock Tunnel. Both Nidorans are very good to get. Specifically, Pikachu really wants Nidoran male. Nidoran female also does work. Spearow is also another nice catch, just because it's here and it's nowhere else. Rattata is kind of like the quintessential 4th catch, but you'll see Krabby here for Yaxo. But Rattata can be sort of caught anywhere in the run. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Yaxu caught one on Route 2, so that he'd be looking for a Raticate anyways.
Yes.
So yeah, this is essentially a perfect Route 10 for Yaxo. The only way it gets
Yaxo
better
has
is
a
if you
golden
get a
Route
Raticate.
10. It's where a lot of us say good runs go to die, and this has just been... Route 10's been kind.
Yeah, Yaxo's gotten, I think, both, or one of the Nidorans, Spearow and Crab here.
He's got
they
both,
have both
actually.
marked.
Yeah.
Oh, did
So
get
if-
both the Nidorans, okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, got
Raticate is the
everything
only
they could have
thing.
wanted from this route.
Yeah.
Except for Raticate. Raticate can spawn here, but you can get Raticate pretty much anywhere in Kanto.
Not wrong. They can get it on 7, they can get it on 8, they can get it literally right when you go, like when you get into the water to get Staryu, they can get it in Mansion.
All right, so now Mocha's making their way over to the Route 10 grass as well.
Now, double Raticate is not great.
No, Mocha doesn't have a Rattata yet. It's not that it really should deter you from catching Raticate. Raticate's very good for experience, but you kind of just have to be smart about it. If you catch a Raticate first and then a Rattata, you need to make sure to box the Rattata before it evolves. Diego going to Route 9. We didn't really touch on Route 9, but Route 9, like I said earlier, is another place where Pikachu kind of needs some help. So this is a Sandshrew, which we've already established is kind of a problem for Pikachu. Luckily, a +2 flamethrower is just enough damage most of the time to take it out. And then the Growlithe can sort of help out with the Raticate that comes in after as well.
Two Raticates, though.
Yeah, this is a rough Route 10 here for Mocha.
There's still one
something you can
slot.
see-
Are we missing? Okay, there's a Nidoran.
Oh, there it is.
Male Nido, okay, that's good.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
4
something-
things can spawn on this route at a time.
Yep.
Unless you're in the water, and then you can sometimes get 5.
Yeah, I don't. Why is the water here more than the grass? Anyways,
It's
I
never
have no
Dratini
idea.
either.
it never is Dratini.
Listen, we don't talk about Dratini. We don't talk about that thing.
And something the runners can do. I think we saw Mocha thinking about doing it earlier. Is
right.
we tend to buy repels alongside the lures, and what you can do is repel away all of the encounters, and then re-lure, which basically re-enables the encounters, so you can sort of refresh a route like that. Yaxo getting Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn, the earliest convenient ride Pokemon to get. So movement speed has now increased considerably.
Yaxo on 27 on the second floor of Rock Tunnel. The second room of Rock Tunnel, I should say. 28 now. Sorry, after the Rhyhorn.
Or possibly even higher than that now that they have Nidorino.
Yeah, I mean, his catch route looks pretty good too. It's not like it's skipping a lot of stuff. It's like
No?
the weirdest one is he's got Psyduck marked but not Golduck, but I mean that's just sort of to fix the even odd. Like you can do pretty much anything for that. Lots of ways that can be fixed.
Yeah, Axo has 52 plans. Diego has 53 planned. Let's see where.
If I have 56 planned at this point, which I've had like a handful of times, very rarely, I get Cubone and Chop, and I just don't evolve them. That's
Talking Eevee.
the rare case. I don't ever recommend doing that. Always evolve them if you can.
And a crab for Diego, and that, I believe that should be everything for Diego on the route. Good side throw there, too.
Diego does not have either Nido marked.
Oh, we do not have the Nidos. What they got? Oh yeah, no, they have not gotten either Nido. Diego's a Pico runner. You really want to leave here with at least one of the Nidos.
Yeah.
Should be one more slot. Gonna go ahead and repel it all the way.
The perks of having extra
There we go. Okay,
repels
there's one
here.
Nido.
A lot of the beginner routes will have multiple repels rather than one, which comes in handy on this route.
There actually is a backup repel you can grab. It's on the way out of the underground tunnel.
Yep.
All right,
Didn't
so
we, like,
Yaxu.
recently find like some item that was like right behind this Pokemon Center?
Wait, I don't know about this.
What? Wait, what item is this? This is news to me.
I thought we found like a super potion or like a hyper potion on here.
Interesting.
Well, today I learned.
I know we found Razes on...
Oh, it might have been raspberries.
Those are on 17. Earlier on 17, and they're not guaranteed to be... Like
Oh,
we've
it's a
seen
super lure.
silvers
That was
and...
it.
Okay, super lure.
The super lure.
It's not terrible, especially if you're going for, say, a Kanga. But,
It's actually kind of good for AOP. I don't know how you'd be low on lures at that point in AOP, but
You're not?
All right, so Yaxo moving along here in Rock Tunnel. The main things you're looking for, obviously the Rhyhorn, Zubat, which Yaxo already caught one, so we're not going to be seeing a Zubat here. Cubone and Marowak, which both evolve, not Cubone and Marowak, Cubone and Machop, which both evolve in 4 levels. And then Graveler, which is kind of like the experience bomb of the section as well. So it looks
Especially
like...
if you get a Wumbo.
Yeah, I think Cubone is the only thing Yaxo is still looking for. You can also find a Charmander, but it's pretty rare. Also kind of tough to catch if you don't have the Ultra Balls yet. And then Onyx, which we saw try to spawn, as well as Kangaskhan, which you do not usually catch. Not in this category. Meanwhile, Mocha getting blasted by one of those Onyxes.
yeah, Onyx's hitbox. is, like,
Literally
size
the
of
biggest
Razor Ball.
hitbox.
Its hitbox is massive, but you can also like walk over its tail. It's super weird.
It is weird.
It's like a giant cylinder.
If it spawns the wrong, like facing the wrong direction along this area here, it can completely block you in, and you just can't do anything about it. It's kind of annoying.
Diego getting the backup great balls. And to do some quick party management.
The hitbox exists, right?
Yeah, for those that don't know, that's a reference to Etchy. A nice instant Rhyhorn for Diego.
That is really good.
Yeah, that's a reference to Etchy getting an Onyx spawning on like the same frame as a cutscene, and it just didn't have a hitbox. It just existed in limbo. Oh, the Rhyhorn spawned on the other side of the wall for Mocha.
That's really unfortunate.
Oh. Mocha just getting blasted by encounters right now.
When things kind of spawn directly in your way and you can't do anything about it, or they spawn right on top of you, there's not much you can do about it, and it's just time loss. Thankfully, we can actually see the encounters, so you can dodge most of them.
Yeah, for being a dark tunnel, this is pretty visible.
What, you mean you don't need the light up technique?
Is that what it's called? I didn't even get this.
That is what
technically.
it's called. It's actually kind of funny the way you're supposed to get it is, so the first trip you take to Vermilion, if you fight Surge while you're there, after you leave, there's a little cutscene where Misty shows up and is like, let me show you Diglett's Cave. And then you go to Diglett's Cave, and then you're like, you may want to go through here. And so then you go through there and get light up. But it's like, we don't get that cutscene, I think, because we leave Vermilion City instead of fighting Surge.
Yeah.
Unless you're me on AOP and Pika and forget to actually teach Thunderbolt. So you go in and do early Surge to get Thunderbolt.
All right, so Yaxo making it out of Rock Tunnel around 1:15:30 with 31. That is a very good time. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Never mind,
Yaxo's
6
cooking.
Pokemon.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
back to 31.
Right. Doing kicked by Koga here.
Yeah. Yeah, generally the end of Rock Tunnel is sort of like the end. There's still more catching to be had, but it's kind of like the end of the first like third of the game, and so it's usually a good time to like assess your pace as a runner. I think most of us have it as a split now, so it's like how are we doing? You also pretty much have your catch route either finalized or are thinking about finalizing it, so you know, like, what do I need to spawn? Do I have to get Ghastly? Could Ghastly not spawn? Am I really hoping for an Aber to spawn on Route 7 to save my run? So it's kind of a good section to assess all that stuff. Because like I said, we won't be doing a big catching section for almost 30 minutes.
Yep.
Mocha still does not have a Rhyhorn though.
Yeah, a few more rooms, but definitely a little dire.
Can't go for that one just yet.
Rough spinner
Yeah.
cycle.
I hate this guy. so much.
He's like almost bad enough that sometimes I'll get past him and something will spawn above him that I need, and I'm like, I'm gonna do without that. Like, I do not want to go back up and then back down and then wait again.
Unless you're doing AOP and Kangas spawns there.
Yeah, that's like that, or if I'm like Rhyhorn-less and there's a Rhyhorn up there.
Yep.
Rhyhorn I'll always go back for, but if it's like
Agreed.
Zubat or something, I'll be like, you know what? Another one will spawn. It's fine. So Yaxo is through Rival 4. This we've mentioned before on commentary that this game is a remake of Yellow version. This is actually a change from Yellow. In the original games, you don't actually have to fight your rival here. You could do Celadon City and come back later. The game actually forces you to do this fight, because if you head over to Celadon now, the game corner is just not there. You can't get into the game corner.
And you also have to come up to this floor here and do this cutscene,
Yes.
because if you don't, you have to come
do
back.
The walk of shame.
Yeah, and they lock Fly or Sky Dash, whatever it's called. They lock that behind doing Hideout, so you can't even fly back. You have to walk
Literally
all the way
walk
back.
Which I think all of us have done at one point or another. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Did it on my casual playthrough, because I was like, oh, I'll just skip the rival fight, it's fine. Just go do Celadon first, level up a little bit.
And then you realize it's like, oh.
I felt like a moron. I was like, could you not do this in Yellow? Like, wait a minute. Was this not how Gen 1 worked?
No, Gen 1 you didn't even have a fight there, really.
Yeah, I tried doing Gen 1 strats casually, and that just is not how this game works.
No. Thankfully, the X items aren't like Gen 1. They have the Gen 1 pricing, but instead of a +1, they go to +2.
Very nice.
No, going to just poison jab this Clefairy here. No metronome guesses.
No fissure. Shout
I
outs
got
to
DT
me
before.
not actually OHKOing, being level 26, and getting hit by fissure.
Is that Char? It's a Machop.
Chop there is nice.
Okay. Good motion controller there.
Motion controls are great.
See Yaxo finally going for that Raticate.
Yep.
Generally, this is like a little bit late for the experience to be super useful, but I mean, there are definitely some cases where this could be nice.
It's not bad on like the
It
chop or
does
T-bone.
get Yaxo onto an even number.
Yeah.
With 34 pokes. It's a really high exit.
Yeah, it's a high exit, but it's not too high. Like, there's definitely a way to be too high with your catch count.
Wait,
but
you
this is
mean
not
40 pokes after tower is too high?
Now, 40 after tower is fine.
40 after tunnel is not.
Yeah. And
No.
unfortunately, Mocha's still looking for that Rhyhorn. 34 pokes and not a Rhyhorn to be found.
It's really unfortunate.
Mocha's gotten everything but the Rhyhorn.
Rhyhorn, please. He's not getting Rhyhorn. It loses a lot of time.
Yeah, I think at minimum it's like 45 seconds movement wise on Eevee side. On Pika side, you can sort of supplement it with evolving your Arcanine early. But there's really no way to do
Early.
anything. You just kind of have to eat the time loss.
Mhm.
All right, so Yaxo's starting the Rocket Hideout. Rocket Hideout's going to be kind of a mix of Pikachu and Nidoking for the most part. Nidoking's going to kind of take the lead, especially through this early section. Diego getting a very last second encounter, like in the door. Oh, was it actually useful?
Yes, Diego
It was
actually
useful.
does-
Actually useful. Wow. Okay.
Not the worst.
No. So Yaxo does have Tenta planned.
Yep. Yeah, he did not get Cubone, so still could get a Cubone in Tower. We have seen a useful Cubone in Tower this tournament, but it's not very common. Which, funny enough, this is a nice little nugget of information for everyone that doesn't make any sense. Cubone actually has a higher spawn rate in Tower than it does in Rock Tunnel. It is 10% in Tower and it is 9% in Tunnel.
I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's the truth.
Tower is a lie. Nothing spawns in Tower.
Actually, a little more optimal to get it in Tower because it evolves in one level from Tower instead of
It is.
like 3, I think, from Tunnel.
4, yeah.
4, yeah.
And it learns a move at 26. It learns a move on the evolution. It's such a slow Pokemon.
Diego evolving to Nidoqueen.
We could see Nidoqueen strats over on that side then.
Yeah, because they didn't get the male Nido. So we
Yeah,
actually get to
Nidoking-
see both strats.
Yeah. Nidoking is a bit faster, but Queen certainly does the trick if you needed her to. So,
There is one fight it is better to have Nidoqueen for, actually.
yes.
Just one.
That's
you do
the
save
Hypno,
quite a
isn't
lot
it?
of time on that fight if you have Nidoqueen.
The Hypno?
Yeah.
Crunch, hip, X attack.
Although sometimes it doesn't even kill, and you're like, well, this is just like a Nidoking.
Yeah, if you get a
I hate it
really
here.
bad Nidoqueen, you're just like, well.
At least all of our runners, though, do have planned. Like, Mocha and Diego both have 52 of them. So they're okay. None of them are really hurting for pokes.
And Mocha has 51 planned after cutting the Rhyhorn, so we can cut probably the Ninetales.
Probably. That does take about 45 seconds. Because you've got a menu and then Evo.
Diego still has Jigglypuff marked. I think there's only one more
Puff can still
opportunity
be
to see
had here.
Jigglypuff.
28 and... Well, yeah, here on 7 and 8. Assuming they go through the cut bush, which Pika generally does to rub the Firestone.
Technically 2 more times because you could get it right before right before Sabrina, but
Yeah.
You're on that route for about 4 seconds, so.
Could also see an Abra on that route.
Could see a Porygon too.
The nice rare encounter.
The nice 1%. It's like the worst
Awesome.
1% to see too, because it's a free Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. My
This is
last
one of
attempt
the-
on one.
This is one of the problems with minus attack. This Clefairy gets a couple extra turns.
Yep.
Luckily, we didn't see anything too bad out of Metronome on Mocha's side, but that could have been bad.
So, Edda, have you ever died to that Clefairy?
I'm sure I have. The trolliest one I can think of recent memory is I've been whirlwinded out and had to finish the fight with Machop.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's a bit of a troll.
Looks like we're having a bit
One
of
of
an
the
issue with
first runs I
Yax's
did,
speed.
I was only level 26
Yeah.
and I got Fissure.
Oh,
Uh-oh. There's Yaxo's feed. Okay, we're good.
yeah, all of our runners should be local recording, so we will be fine. If we have some trouble with the feed for now, but for now we can watch Diego and Mocha.
There we
Just
go.
kidding.
We're back.
We're so
Technology.
back. All right.
So Yaxo on J&J.
Yeah, we're gonna see a really cool strategy here, and you're not gonna see Pikachu, assuming everything goes well. So we've got Rhyhorn and Nidoking. Rhyhorn comes along with the move Drill Run, which at +2 can most of the time KO the Arbok, and at +4, or +2 with Helping Hand, they're roughly the same amount, will be able to take out the Weezing in one hit. So you're hoping for a 4-turn or a 2-turn fight. It can be a 4-turn if you have a bad Rhyhorn, but
Does get the
generally-
Oko on the Arbok.
Generally, it'll be fine. Eevee runners can do this as well, but Eevee also has a different strategy, especially with Mocha's plus special. We'll probably see the Eevee version of the fight. Also, Mocha doesn't have a Rhyhorn, so kind of can't show us the Rhyhorn version of the
No.
fight.
Nope.
Mocha will instead be showing us Graveler.
Also, while we were getting Yaxo's feedback, Mocha stopped by the Cerulean or Celadon Pokemon Center. All the runners are going to be setting the Synchronize, which allows all of the encounters for the rest of the day to be a certain nature. So they've all set that to Modest. And the Eevee runners will also grab the move Glitzy Glow there, which is a 90 base power psychic move that also sets up a light screen, which is also a very busted move. Only gets a handful of uses in the run, but those uses are very necessary.
Just Eevee casually getting all of these special moves at 90 base power. Literally T-Bolt level power. But adding
Meanwhile,
the
I
effect
think
of another move at the exact same time. Because
yeah,
makes a lot of
and
sense.
the Pikachu side does also get 2 other moves, just not available at convenient times. There's like
Splishy
Floaty Fall, and Splishy Splash, and like Floaty Fall
Nice
can
1%
miss.
Porygon.
Wait,
Oh my
Floaty Fall
God.
can miss?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's 90
Floaty-
accuracy or 95.
Yeah, Floaty Fall is basically the move Fly. I think it can flinch.
Paralyzes? Or is that the surf one?
It flinches.
Flinches.
Yeah, the Surf one paralyzes. This one flinches. 90 base power, 95 accurate, and will flinch.
Why can't Pika actually have Splishy Splash earlier?
Yeah, Splishy Splash early would be quite nice. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Is it
Splishy
Splishy Splash?
Splash.
Is in, it's in Fuchsia, right?
It's in Fuchsia, yeah. It's
So
muddy.
far
It's
away.
basically muddy water. It's muddy
Mhm.
water, but it doesn't miss. And it's 30% chance of paralyzing. So it's like
Isn't
actually
it
a good
90
move.
base power too?
Yeah, it's 90 base power. It hits both opponents in double battles. Doesn't affect yours. It's not all adjacent Pokemon. It's adjacent opponents. So it's like actually quite nice.
It's basically Surf, but better.
Yeah.
So good. If that was a Celadon, you could even grab it there just for the Geo fight.
Yeah, it would be good for Geo. It would be good for. You could probably two-turn Jesse and James with it. Maybe.
You probably could. And Pika could literally completely get through the entirety of Rock Tunnel without much worry on its own.
Yeah. That would be in the future when ROM hacking is more advanced for these games. If that ever happens, we'll make a hack of Pikachu gets the broken moves early.
That would actually make Pika the better game.
Yaxo at level 30 already.
And through Hideout as well.
Yep.
No issues there.
134.
Yep, so he's going to be
Yatsu
on
is
to...
flying.
Absolutely flying. He's going to be on to Pokemon Tower. It's kind of like Hideout 2.0 in a way. There's going to be another Jesse and James fight at the top, and as well as 2 other fights that are mandatory that are really no problem. The big thing in Tower is trying to get yourself a Ghastly to spawn, which there's a hot debate among the community as to should you lure or not.
I am on camp, don't lure.
I am as well.
Don't lure either.
But
I
interesting,
think a lot of us don't.
something we should look for. Yaxu does not have a Cubone. So Cubone, 10% to spawn in Tower. If it spawns, we'll all be very excited.
Mocha now picking up the lift key, aha OSHA violations. But for real, did anyone casually not pick the chair first because you were like, nah, they wouldn't make
No.
you stand on a chair?
Oh,
Why would I pick it? I picked like the boxes. Oh,
Yeah, I
they're
thought the
too heavy.
boxes-
I was like, there's no way. And I tried the chair. And I'm like, no.
don't try that
How
at
could
home.
you?
Now, if that chair didn't have wheels on it, fine.
That's why I was like, no, it's a rolly chair. There's no way. I casually, I was
Mhm.
like, it's got to be a box, right?
That's really just going to be talked about on every single commentary from now until
Mhm.
the end of Let's Go Speedrunning, isn't it?
It really is. It's just an OSHA moment.
Mocha about to head up to the second J&J fight.
Very intentionally valid, Phoenix valid.
The second of 4 J&J fights we will see during the run. There is a 5th J&J fight, but it is post-game.
It's also in a very odd spot. Like, it's not one that you're going to just randomly find doing the post-game stuff. Because
If
there
you
is kind of a
do,
post-game run.
If you do the Beat Red category, you will find it.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Phoenix.
No one's playing off their OBS preview. Actually, I don't know if that's true.
Listen, I did my first run last night without the OBS preview. I played off OBS for years.
I understand it.
In my defense, I have literally less than a 10th of a second delay between the two. There's almost no delay.
Yeah, I kind of had to. So I was talking about this on stream the other day when the whole conversation was happening. But like when I started, I played my like Gen 1 speedruns on a CRT. So obviously it wasn't going to, like, I needed an extra TV anyways. And then when I switched over to the Switch stuff, my capture card was like the crappy Elgato external card from the time. And it had like an 800 millisecond delay.
Oh my god.
So like that was impossible, like actually impossible to play on the OBS preview. So I had to do that. And then now that I have a better capture card, I just still will play off the other monitor just because I got so used to it.
Mm-hmm. So Yaxo does get the rig. That's really handy.
The worst I've ever seen for a capture card was one of those like knockoff cam links at a 1.5 second delay.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
I mean, I only spent like $10 on it, so it wasn't the end of the world, but
Ghastly, please just get in the ball. Thank you.
also I'm really hoping Mocha goes for the Graveler version of the Giovanni fight.
I have to imagine being
Ooh.
minus attack that they would.
It's definitely a very viable
Paralyzed
option.
with the Graveler, no.
Gets the
Oh, this
Okolon
EV is
wheezing.
cracked, yeah.
Okay.
That is not a common range.
No, it's not. So many things need to go right for that to one shot. Oh, 2-turn Archer 2. Or Archer
That's
1.
really good. 68 special.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
That's so high.
so good. Actually, is that a J&J 3 KO?
If
It's
they get up
really
to level
close.
30, I think they would.
29. Now you're pulling my notes. It's so close.
All right, so while Razor's doing that, Yaxo is going into Jesse and James 3. This looks like the exact same fight that Diego's doing. However, you cannot use the same approach. You can't use the Rhyhorn here. Although it looks like Diego's doing a different version. Actually, pretty much the same version that you're going to see Yaxo do right now. So you want to send in something that will basically bait out an attack from the opponents. So that way Pikachu doesn't get double targeted. And effectively the rest of the fight is going to consist of Pikachu using Thunderbolt and the partner Pokemon healing to make sure the Pikachu lives. That is essentially the fight here. You can't use the standard Rhyhorn strategy because the Weezing has Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse can flinch. So,
Okay, so they have 68 attack at 29.
yeah.
78 to 77 special attack is a 9 of 16 range at 29.
You should
Okay.
level up one more time before.
If they
JJ3
get to
though.
30, they'll need 72 attack, like special, to be a 9 of 16 range. It's basically going to be a 50-50 shot.
I mean, I go for a coin flip on that fight.
Oh, yeah. Yaxo missing a 12 and 16 range. A little
That's
unlucky
really
there.
Unfortunate.
But luckily able to chip it in with the ragtag team of Machop and Rhyhorn.
Yeah, not a big deal for Pikachu to go down here.
No.
That's actually the last fight we're going to use Pikachu for.
Yeah, we now have this really awkward stretch of like almost 20 minutes where we don't really have a main Pokemon anymore.
No, we don't.
We're going to be catching a lot of things. We're going to be dodging a lot of trainers. This is one of the trainers are all completely dodgeable, but this is a stretch that is really punishing if you hit an optional trainer, just because like you're not set up for it. They're higher level than you're expecting. They are, you're leading a Ghastly here. You can see on Yaxu's side, so you really don't want something bad to happen. Yeah, we saw in the early race today.
Yeah, that fight is just nasty. You do not want to hit optionals here. Not until you hit... Well, you don't want to hit optionals anyway, but they are especially damaging if you catch them.
Especially the ones
like,
in
hit
the
them
water,
before you get
they
Starmie.
take forever to swim to you.
They really do.
Yeah. And usually at that point, you're like leading Rapidash or something, and
Or maybe
They all
you
have
have
water
Staryu,
Pokemon.
but you don't have anything for them because you don't have T-Bolt yet, and you've not evolved this Starmie.
yeah. Agreed, Sandy. Whoever made these layouts should get a raise.
I agree with that.
Shoutouts to Misty having a Pokemon as strong as Starmie in the second freaking gym.
Starmie's a good Pokemon. Maybe we should catch one.
I
Maybe
agree.
we should.
Wait, no, we should not catch a Starmie. We should catch a Staryu.
Oh, come on. You mean you wouldn't get this shiny Starmie if it spawned?
No. All right.
So
we
here's
see
the question:
Diego.
if you're going for a no reset run, say you're doing like GDQ hotfix or something, and you see a shiny Staryu, do you go for it?
Oh, you absolutely you run it.
On a no
Absolutely.
reset?
Yeah.
If you're doing it like on hotfix or something and you're not in the middle of a race or something like that, then sure.
I
But
think
for like
shiny
PB attempts
Starmie-
or anything else, no.
I think I calced it. I think shiny Starmie loses like a minute and a half.
That sounds about right.
I would, even on PB attempt, I would go for a shiny Ponyta though.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I absolutely would.
Because it doesn't lose like that much time
And
compared to
shiny
Star,
Pony
but
looked so good.
I did once get a shiny Rhyhorn on a run. That was cool. You lose quite a lot of time to it, but it was pretty cool.
Yaxu getting the side up.
yeah, Route 17. Definitely the next big catching section between Route 17, Route 21, specifically the water, but you can go to the grass, and Pokemon Mansion. We want to be basically done with our catches. So it looks like for Yaxo, he's going for a Psyduck here, as well as Doduo and Ponyta. And then on Route 21, going to be getting a Staryu and a Tentacool, and then in Pokemon Mansion, getting a Grimer. So this is sort of like the most that you expect to end up with. Obviously, depending on your catch route, you could end up having to catch like even more stuff. Like maybe I don't have Rattata yet. But this is kind of like what you expect to have to catch in the end game, realistically. So it's not too
Mocha
bad.
did get the Ghastly.
Ooh, very nice. I see based on the chat, it was close to the cutscene trigger.
It was very close. It was directly above it, and he almost walked right into it, but quickly backtracked.
Yeah, there's a Doduo on Yaxo's side, as well as a Ponyta right next door. So
That is a fantastic
extremely
Route
good.
17.
yeah,
That is everything that he needed.
Yeah, I believe Yaxo is done here. I don't think there's anything else.
no,
Correct
there's
me
not
if
even
I'm
a
wrong.
bonus that you would
Yaxo's
catch.
probably on PV pace.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing you could catch here if you wanted to is an Eevee, but like you don't. You have other better catches to get.
Yeah, Pikachu does have the benefit of being able to catch Eevee here. Obviously, Eevee version does not want to get that, but there are 2 Firestones on the ground in the game that are just kind of in our path, so you can turn it into Flareon as an absolute last resort.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah,
I don't.
catching Eevee is quite miserable. It's a little bit better now that we get Ultra Balls. And,
Double Ultras, yes.
yeah, it's a little bit better
Double
now
Ultras
that we know
with
how
Silver
the match
Raz.
mechanics in this game work, but there was a time where it was pretty bad.
I think I would rather actually catch Haunter. Oh, wait. There is an alt main that requires you to catch Haunter. So Diego just getting in. Now will Diego quickly see a Ghastly so that all 3 of our runners have it?
Alright, grabbing Silver Razzes. Silver Razzes can be useful for some of the catches coming up. Specifically the water catches. So we've been catching pretty much every Pokemon we can with 2 controllers because it increases the catch rate as well as the experience. But when you're in the water surfing, you cannot summon the second controller. You have to do it 1 controller. So both Tentacool and Staryu could benefit from a Silver Razz.
Diego not going for the Nanabs.
Oh, just missing that circle too.
So for those who are a lot newer to the game, I would always recommend Nanab on Ghastly. Just get it to stop because it will move around a lot. It will make that catch a lot easier.
Yaxo going through the Fuchsia City cutscene. To get Swimmy Swim, Surfy Surf, whatever this is called.
This is the only one I actually remember the name every time because it's one of my splits.
Mm-hmm. It's mine as well.
Yeah, 151C skim time. Definitely good pace for Yaxu.
151 with 40. That's very, very solid.
Yeah, be interesting to see. So coming up in this section, we'll be catching the Staryu. Staryu, or Starmie, is going to be the main Pokemon for the rest of the run. Something we like to do is we try to take a look at the CP value for these stars. So in the upper right corner of every wild encounter, you'll see a CP value. It's basically some formula that is derived from the sum of the stats. So it doesn't really tell you anything specifically.
1029.
1029.
Oh, 1029. I had a 1029 last round. So it was okay. 1029 is on the low side. I believe the range is like 962 to 1171. Something like that.
My offline run had a 1096 and I had min special attack.
Yeah, average is somewhere in the 1062 range. We've seen a lot of 1070s in the last couple days.
Yeah.
But it is, like I said, it is based on the sum of the stats.
It was like a 1060 for the extra star U.
You catch that one instead.
And before it's actually a worse star.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was basically saying is it takes all of the stats into consideration. So you could have the worst possible like defense, special defense, HP, and attack, and the best possible speed and special attack, and it would look basically the same as if you had like mediocre everything.
Yaxo not seeing Tentacruel. We'll
That's
need to
probably
find
going to
2 more
be
Pokemon.
evolved. This is probably where you evolve the Psyduck.
Yeah,
And then
evolve the Psyduck and catch like
potentially-
Magmar.
Magmar, yeah. I'm going for Pony Slot too.
Take a look at our Staryu.
That is minimum special attack. Well,
Oh, 85 speed though's fine.
Yeah, the speed is okay. The special attack definitely leaves a little bit to be desired. It's not bare minimum.
it's so
It is-
close.
It is literally 1 IV. Not 0 IV. So there's a win.
Could be worse.
Classic PvE pace Staryu. Absolutely.
Right?
Nothing worse than being like, all right, I'm a minute ahead here coming out of Sea Skim. Get your star. It's awful.
The worst thing to do is running against a god tier Starmie in on your PB. It's such epic.
All right, so all those candies, we're going to use the water stone that we conveniently placed on Route 21. Can we talk about the fact that there are like no convenient thunderstones or leaf stones in the entire game in terms of like the normal like any percent flow?
I was gonna say lightweight. In the NM% flow? No. In AOP? There are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like there's a water stone directly on the route where we catch this overpowered Pokemon, and there's like fire stones, which are just the most versatile for any percent.
So there's absolutely no Thunderstone or Leaf Stone. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Because if we had a Leaf Stone, we would absolutely evolve the Bloom and
Yep.
Thunderstone would be good in Eevee too, because you just get Raichu.
Yeah.
It'd be so nice, but nope. Instead, you have to spend $5,000 to get them. So that's a lot.
I was looking at an old run the other day. It was like back when the record was like a 315 or something. And I saw Raichu marked, and I was like, what did we used to do? It's like, what are we doing?
When world record was a 315, and now we're like
Yeah.
the median's at 309.
Yeah. Also, Sandy pointed this out. As of the early race. So, for anyone that doesn't know what the format of the tournament is,
no.
is it running?
Yes.
Oh no. But yeah, talking a little bit about the format of the tournament. So we're doing Swiss format. So every race, the racers will gain an amount of points depending on how they place. So first place will get 3 points. Third place will get 0, but second place will get either 2 or 1 point, depending on how their time compares to the median of all of the runners in the round. So even if you get second place, you can end up with 2 points if you had a really good time. And the median from last round hovered at 309.05 for the longest time, and ended up being, I think it was 309.10 was the final median. The median for this round, as of the early race today, and this race here is the second to last race of the round. Unfortunate breakout there for Yaxo. The current median is a 309.04. It is 6 seconds better than the median from last round. How are we this consistent as a community?
No idea.
God, this Magmar is not.
Keeping in mind,
Yaxo is out of
the
the
number
non.
of top-end racers this round with late, like mid-3 teens. Like T-Pat with the 315
Yeah.
because he got completely
Okay, and it
bodied.
just gets in with the lowest ball combination. Okay, let's go.
I don't even know what to say about that. It's typical let's go of
Yep.
let me use all my great Pokeballs. Finally, I'm like, I give up. I just use double Pokeball with a Raz. I get a great throw on it. Gets in. That happens with Chansey so much.
It does. The good
First
news
throw, Raz,
for
excellent.
Yaxo, though,
Let's
is
get
that is the last catch they need.
Yeah. So catching is done. Just a lot of evolving from here on out. Actually, not even that much evolving. Already at 47. 47
It's
going
just
to
the
Blaine
muck.
is very high. Yeah. Every runner basically is going to stop collecting Pokemon once they hit 48, because there are 2 free Pokemon we can get right at the end of Silphco.
Meanwhile, Diego just got the pony.
Mocha looking for a star.
Looking for a star. Oh, there's one.
Okay.
And behind the rock. And it is an 83.
And 83, that's really high.
Unfortunate breakout there. Are we... Oh, Mocha has to switch over to the Ultra Balls. There we go. Yeah. I was thinking Mocha was out of the Ultra Balls, but it looks like he just didn't switch over.
Yep.
But we're good now. Meanwhile, Yaxo getting through Ted. Ted is a notoriously dangerous fight. It's a lot better now that we allow 2 controllers. But it is a fight where you kind of have to either sacrifice something next to the star, or you sort of take a bit of a gamble and attempt to do that. Oh, no!
Oh
No, Mocha, no.
This
We
is
were
a-
saying these are one of the worst.
Oh, Andy has a Starmie too.
Oh gosh. You do have Haunter. You have.
You're just gonna get
Well, no, you're
obliterated
just
by
gonna get
Psychic.
outsped. You're just dead.
I mean, maybe it'll work. Minimize.
Oh, minimize. Gross.
All right, Caden, get out of here.
Oh.
Oh no.
I don't know what to do here.
I don't know either.
Yeah, these fights are so hard.
No. This is Diego's chance to catch up here.
How did the Starmie avoid disable?
Minimize.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know Starmie learned that.
Yeah, apparently.
Which you'll notice Edda mentioned a certain fight that we will come across later that is a real gym leader. Triathlete brother, not wrong.
I'm honestly like maybe just wiping here is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You don't. I mean, you lose a bunch of time, but you already have your star. Like you just need to come back to the route.
Yep.
You respawn in Celadon, if I remember correctly.
They are still ahead of Diego, but Diego making up some ground here. Of course, it has surf too.
If only we could get surf.
Right?
If only we could get surf.
Which, unfortunately, I timed it losing about a minute to getting it. And that's just from getting onto Route 50.
Yeah. If only they gave us the ability to fly super high early.
That would be really nice. In that case, we'd just grab Surf because better than Hydro Pump.
Wait, I just noticed Yaxo's at like 4 HP. You have to heal here because this has quick attack.
There's that minimum special attack. Well, almost minimum. Like that extremely low special attack coming into play.
Yeah, so Yaxo just taking down Blaine. You might have noticed for the last about an hour and 20 minutes, we haven't gotten a badge. Now we're going to start kind of the gauntlet of picking up all the badges. This game's kind of unique. You can explore the region almost entirely after getting cut from the boat.
Starmie.
Nice 1% Starmie.
Diego going for the Tenta.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Starmie doesn't help at all.
88.94. Wow.
This is a really good start. Dude.
Yeah, this Starmie is a Starmie.
I would take this one.
92.96 at 45.
Oh, man,
That is
this Starmie is
wild.
really good.
That is exactly what you would call a god tier storm.
All right, this is this is a really funny thing to say. Do you know what the maximum special attack you can have at 46 is? 93.
Well then.
Mocha has 94. Shout out to Go Powers.
And isn't 98 the max on speed?
99 for Diego on the star.
At 46?
46 you can have 99 speed, but yeah.
That's a 30
incredibly
IV. We're somewhere around there. That is
probably like a 28 or
wild.
29.
nearly max speed and nearly max special attack.
Oh, there's a coughing.
Diego does have 51 planned, so foregoing the Marowak here is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think what you could opt to do instead is just...
And also has a really good Starmie.
Definitely a very good star. Yeah.
$92.99 at 46.
Nearly identical stars between Diego and Mocha.
Yaxo also just finishing up the 4th gym. It's actually the 3rd gym.
In the early race, somebody did it as the 5th gym. It is a not very common strategy, but specifically if you're like out of healing items, something you can do is fight Erica first, and then do Surge after. And by fighting Surge after, you can go to Vermilion Mart and do your basically your Saffron shop in Vermilion City instead. It's not any faster to do it that way. It's just if you need the extra heals, specifically for Archer 2 coming up.
Yep. If you're low on heals, like if you've used a lot of super potions, that is a fantastic strat.
Yeah, the shop is different. Like you
And the fly menu is not nearly as good.
Yeah, you can't buy max repels, so you have to buy super repels, and you have way less money because you haven't gone through Sylphco yet, so it's not something you can just do on a whim, but
yep,
it is something that can be done. Not very common though.
And Diego now getting the last catch.
Yeah, so after this, because it looks like Mocha's all done with catches as well, we should not be seeing any more catches, which is always nice. It's a nice, level set of like, all right, I'm done with my catches. I can focus on just the Pokemon speedrun, because this run is very different than other Pokemon speedruns. But this last hour is a very like traditional Pokemon speedrun of like, I just need to blitz through these fights as fast as possible, X items all the way. We have the ability to use 2 controllers, which is very nice. Some of these fights are absolutely brutal if you do not allow 2 controllers.
Yaxo saying in the chat, they have 0 special attack and about a 5 or 6 speed.
That's about what it looked like, yeah. That is a really unfortunate start.
But is still on a fantastic pace.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the special attack obviously is going to come into play in a lot of places. The speed only comes into play in like 2, maybe 3 places, depending on how things go. So the first main one is Blaine. Blaine, there are 2 Pokemon that can potentially outspeed you. There's the Ninetales, which can only outspeed you at level 46. It's actually a speed tie if you have exactly 0 speed.
Ooh, Diego going for the cool 2 controller strap there on Ted. Or the 2 controller spot.
And then the Rapidash on Blaine can also outspeed you. And then the other 2 main speed things are, it is possible to be outsped by Giovanni's Persian on Giovanni 2, which is super unlikely. If you have speed that bad, you should be candying to 46 anyways. And then the final one, which I believe, if Yaxo's correct, and has 5 or 6 speed, he should be fine, is being outsped by Rival 5's Pidgeot, which can be kind of dangerous because of Sand Attack. So,
does Jinx never come into play?
Jinx can come into play, but it's pretty unlikely to be a thing. I think you can speed tie it. I don't know. Can you be just?
Caroline's the one thing you would not want to be outsped by.
I don't think it's Caroline's Jinx. I think it's Lorelei's Jinx.
Lorelei's Jinx, yeah.
But yeah, I did forget about that one. Lorelei's Jinx.
I know those are Jinx on Caroline doesn't really say much.
Yeah, Jinx on Caroline you always outspeed, but Lorelei you could speed tie. If you have 0 or 1 IV, you speed tie.
Okay, yeah, you just have to have
and even so speed. Too. Like I don't think the Jinx can actually do anything to you.
Yeah.
No,
it's not too bad. Just something you got to be aware of.
But Yaxo will 100% have to go to +6 on Lorelei anyway.
Yeah.
Diego and Mocha can go to +4, almost guaranteed. Pidgeotta's a speed tie. That's rough. That is probably the worst thing to get outsped by. I would argue. Because Sand Attack can get absolutely... It can absolutely destroy you.
Yeah, Yaxo should level up one or two more times before we get to that fight, so we should be able to determine whether or not that's a bad speed tie there. Alright, Yaxo going for Fire Blast strats on blue. This Exeggutor is the only Pokemon in the run that Starmie cannot hit for at least neutral damage.
Diego tried YOLOing it. Hits the optional.
That is
does
a
have an electric
rough
buzz.
optional.
Which trainer is
That
this?
is a very rough.
It's the one outside the switch
Yep.
in Mansion. Like the spinner you have to pass a couple times.
Oh, do they not have like a different background for the basement floor?
I guess not, yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh. Fine, it's
They're-
just a 3-turn.
This Electabuzz is very kind. This Electabuzz can like one-shot you.
Yes, it can. Diego not getting punished.
I always wondered what that guy's team was. It's not
Right,
like a
Archer
bad spare to
2.
hit either, because like you can just turn around and get the bed after hitting him.
So this is this is probably the most well-known fight in the entire league. Archer 2 is everyone's least favorite. Because everything has a super effective move against your Starmie. Electrode will always outspeed you, and ideally it goes boom, which it does, thankfully, but Protect turn 1 is not ideal. Like Yaxo said, you take that. As long as you get boom turn 1 and it doesn't T-Bolt into the Starmie slot, you're okay.
Yep.
If it just spams T-Bolt, you're just constantly healing and things can go awry real fast.
Takes care of the muck. We want the muck to go down as fast as possible because it has minimize.
While Mocha through and is probably on about a 315, 316 pace for Mocha. Which I think is actually a PB for Mocha. Unsure. I know Mocha's PB was somewhere around the 319, 318. Last I heard.
Trace has the opportunity to take out and eradicate here.
But does it is the question.
It went for... Oh, no. It went for focus energy, so I was hoping for the double crit.
$319 for Mocha. Yeah, that's Mocha is absolutely on PvP pace here then,
Definitely.
which we love to see.
Absolutely.
Yaxo's, I think, is a 305. You said
Yaxo has a 305, yeah.
Yaxo's probably pretty close to being PB paced. Imagine if we got 3 PBs.
Yaxo through
Wild.
Archer 2.
Diego did get burned, but is just gonna go through with it. Largely because they outspeed everything, and burn is not gonna do enough to kill them. They can just heal on the fly menu. We know what Diego's PV is.
I will quickly check.
They're on about 318, high 317.
Looks like a 320 flat is the last time that he posted in the Discord.
So all three of our runners pretty much on PB pace. Diego taking a center.
Interesting.
If they didn't have a burn heal, that makes sense. Probably is, yeah.
Okay, I am back from clip diving to figure out Yaxo should outspeed the Pidgeotto or Pidgeot by 1 point, assuming no more AVs.
Oh my gosh.
He has 3 IV, but gained an AV on the first level up. So it ends up being 128 by the time the Pidgeot comes around, which the Pidgeot has 127. So we should be
what,
safe.
1 AV, 1 IV speed, well, 1 IV special attack and 3 in speed. That is disgustingly bad.
This is why we say CP is a lie.
Yes.
To be fair, Yaxo was the 1029 star, so
Yeah.
DP's not that much of a lie. But yes.
Mocha taking that pass there a little bit scary. Ideally, when you're going through this, you hug the edges on everything. Don't take too wide of a turn. If you do, you can get spotted. This is also the gym where the only requirement is to show the girl a cute Pokemon. Which one of the old runners used to think was always Dodrio, because for reality is you can show them anything.
All Pokemon are adorable.
Garbodor says something otherwise, but yes.
Yaxo gonna pick up Master Ball, very useful item. Now that we're done with catching.
It's so mean. They force you to pick up the Master Ball in this game, and it's just after it's convenient for us to have one.
It's like, why couldn't you have given this earlier?
I feel like
Actually, that's what you do for the minimum 50, is you do this, you grab the Master Ball, and then you go and grab the Legendary Burb if that's what you rolled into.
Probably something like that, yeah.
Go get Zapdos, which you still need Surf to get. I feel like there's some weird ranges I'm forgetting about for like Yaxo's Star. I know what's her name? The first girl on Victory Road, I can't think of her name right now.
Naomi.
Naomi,
yeah.
That's a range. If you have a
That's
really,
definitely
really
gonna
bad
be a
star.
range. Oh, there are some interesting ranges. 1 second, let me scroll down in my notes.
Naomi will be a pretty bad range. There's no way Yaxo manages with Hydro Pump on Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel is a range.
Samuel is a
special attack.
range.
Yep. Yeah, Samuel's a range with this bad special attack. Everything on Rival 5 is good. Yeah, Naomi's a range for sure. The Mr. Mime coming up on Sabrina fight is a 2-shot range.
Yes.
Nelson's a problem. It's just you can't Thunderbolt ×2, so you need the Scald.
Meanwhile, Mocha and Diego might be able to manage Psychic on Samuel if they get the AVs.
Yeah. Caroline's Jinx will be a range. Obviously, we were talking about Lorelei earlier. That'll be a problem.
The Dragonites are range.
Dragonite will
Dragonite
definitely be a
is the
range.
biggest
Gyarados will be a range, so you'll probably want to Thunderbolt it. You will probably need to Scald the Marowak on Champion. Definitely +4 Thunderbolt for Pidgeot. Which Phoenix is saying in chat, just get the Lapras and do Lapras stuff through Elite Four, which works as well. If you are doing, depending on the version of 2-controller Lance that you're doing, Psychic against the Aerodactyl could be a range if you're at +4, so you would have to Thunderbolt there. Probably doesn't hit the threshold to Scald the Gengars at +4 on Agatha. Like, there are so many stupid, silly ranges that exist when you have this bad of special attack.
Is this actually the worst Starmie we've had?
In terms of like meaningful stats, I think so.
So I don't know that we've had worse than a 1 and 3. That's about as bad as you.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it looks like, I mean, the other stats must make up for it in terms of like where the stats
where everything went. Yeah.
Right,
I mean, if the defenses are nice, you can manage, say, like you can be a bit safer on a 1C on Giovanni.
If you were 1C'ing champ, you might be able to take 3 air slashes.
I would hazard a bet, though, that Yaxos...
So, Etiquette, I'm hearing there's a lot of Thunderbolts that we have to go through. Is that, do we have enough Thunderbolts?
Yeah, you should have enough Thunderbolts for all this stuff.
Here's the other question. Why in the world does Starmie get Thunderbolt in the first place?
Well...
See, back in the day in Gen 1, Game Freak didn't really know how to make movesets. They're just like, everything gets Bolt Beam for some reason.
Okay. So, on the low end... Actually, if you give me a little bit, I can get the exact IV range. Special defense is Yaxu's best stat, if anyone was curious.
That does help for taking air slashes.
It would. HP is also up there. So look at that.
Yaxo through 226.
Yeah, Yaxo is through Sabrina. I don't think they've marked the gift Pokemon yet. This is still showing.
Yaxo hasn't even marked the gift Pokemon, no. Meanwhile, Mocha is on the ever so friendly, or should I say, not so friendly, Archer 2 fight.
Mocha should be fine here. We take out the Weezing. You should be able to take a Sucker Punch.
Are they okay to live this? Okay, good.
Yeah, well, we now know that the Cubone is attacking, so... Nice crit, and yeah, that's...
Nice double crit.
Yeah. And that should be fine. That Mocha should be through Archer. Yeah, you, like, barely live. You only need, like, Depending on your stats, realistically, you want like around like 28 HP to live like a Sucker Punch, even with like minimum stats. Might be a little more than that. Mocha had 33, and I know that's a safe number.
Diego's going to be coming up on that fight rather quickly too.
Yep.
And now Yaxo comes in on the bane of my existence.
Now it's time to find out if we did everything correctly and we caught 50 Pokemon.
What, kick by Koga is not a thing?
Task completed successfully.
Caden, everyone's favorite gym leader.
Yep.
So this very first fight here for Yaxo is Caden. It's easily the worst fight in this gym. Everything in this gym has Protect, and the lead Muck here can go Minimize, which will raise its evasion, and suddenly you just start missing. Ideally, you see Protect turn 1. Which we get Moonblast turn 1 and does not get the special attack drop. That's good. There's a Protect. Loses 1 turn, but it's fine.
Yeah. Really anything other than Minimize is good turn 1.
Yeah.
Because like even if you get poisoned, you can just simply just go for it.
So basically not my fight.
Yeah,
Wait, Edda, did you see my fight?
I did.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it last time you were on Comms Etiquette, where if we know the name of an NPC in the game,
Yeah.
that's usually a
Yeah.
bad sign.
Yeah, it's really bad if we know the name of an NPC.
Why, we know the name Jocelyn on Eevee.
Yep.
The very first fight in Forest that has Sand Attack, because Sand Attack is fun.
Alright, Yaxo starting this fight. If you had a good Starmie, you could go for some like kind of cool ranges here, save some super effective attacks, but unfortunately, that is not going to be possible.
Okay, boom turn 1, please.
A boom turn one
Boom or
actually is
Protect?
cool. Nope.
Boom turn 1 is actually really nice because that basically baits everything else into attacking you and you dodge all of the protects. The downside to it is Boom can crit and kill you. Yeah, because everything has Protect in this gym, you can literally just lose turns for no reason and you can't really do anything about it. Okay, no Protect on Golbat
Should
is
be good to
really
get
nice.
through this fight now. Was a little worried because we only had 4 Psychics left, and it is possible to completely run out.
Yeah, if I'm
Koga's
low and
deciding
I'm
not to
going on to
protect, that's
Golbat, then I usually just T-Bolt the Golbat just to be safe. Unless, of course, I'm guaranteed with Scald. But
I thought about that as
always.
well. I just didn't know if the Yaxo special attack was good enough to get it with
No.
T-Bolt.
no. T-Bolt, you'd be good enough.
Wait, against the Golbat?
Yeah.
Maybe?
So the Golbat will, with bare minimum special attack, the Golbat does go down to a Scald.
With like a 0? Oh, cool.
Yeah, an actual 0, it goes down to Scald.
Wow. Okay. Because I know, like, the Venomoth and the Weezing do not.
Yeah, those do not.
Those are usually, like, what is it, 129? what
It's guaranteed at 131 for the Weezing and 128 for Venomoth.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere around there. It's like 129 and I'm going for him. So that's like a what, 14 and 16 range, something like that. That's not too bad.
We do have confirmation in the chat. Yaxo ahead of PB. So we'll be looking forward to that. Underrated
Second and a
strategy.
half ahead and loses a minute on Victory Road.
Yeah.
So Yaxo is solidly on PvE pace here.
I will say an underrated strategy I like to see Yaxo doing is so optimally you would use your elixir. You get 2 PP restoring items in the run. An elixir and a max elixir in Eevee, and then the elixir and the ether that we talked about like 2 hours ago on the Pika side. You use one of them basically around Koga's gym, and then you use the other one way later in Elite Four. And the optimal place to use the elixir is after Sabrina, so before going into Koga's gym. The problem with that is Koga's gym can just destroy your inventory of psychics, depending on how caving goes and how Koga goes, all that kind of stuff. So delaying the elixir through Koga and elixiring after the fight is a really good safety strategy that I don't see enough people do, in my opinion.
That's
where
the I always use. I just never do go before Sabrina. I've had too many times where I've elixired prior, and I don't have any way to do anything. I have to take a mom hill at that point.
Yep.
Especially like say my race where I just got completely bodied by that entire gym. I had no psychic PP left. I had to elixir, and thankfully I kept it. It's like, especially for those who are just starting, the safest strat, always use elixir after Koga.
Yeah, and you can always use it between Caden and Koga if you absolutely have to.
Which ideally you don't. If you do have to, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, because like it always felt bad to elixir then, because like you're mainly elixiring for your psychic PP, and by that point you've only used 2 of them. So like you're elixiring up from 8 to 10. It just feels kind of bad, but it's just the best place to do it in terms of menu optimizations.
Stomp strats. Because if Caden goes sideways, Stomp works.
Yep. All right, Yaxu making it through Giovanni's gym. There are a couple of dangerous fights. Giovanni himself is pretty dangerous, as well as this fight here, another one of those NPCs that we know the name of. No one knows Tamer Cole's name that we just defeated, but here is
no one
Ace
except
Trainer
for you,
Samuel.
apparently.
I only remember his name because that is when there's a friendship threshold that gets reached, is starting on Cole.
So is going for the 1 controller on this fight.
No, Mocha!
Oh no.
Easy. Easy.
That was a range. What are you doing? All right.
Hey, you just heal it up. How bad was that range etiquette?
I'm literally calcing it now.
That was a ballsy move.
It paid off, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, you only lost 1 turn to the first Hydro Pump missing, so...
Is Yaxo just gonna go straight for PB?
I can't imagine we see 1 controller Naomi.
Oh, no, I can't either.
So in addition to that being an 80% accurate move, it was a 13 and 16. So that was a 65% chance of KOing. Well, 65% chance, but also missed the first one. So that's above my pay grade.
Go for a 13 and 16 there.
Alternatively, could just Hydro Beetle with special attack drop. You're not wrong.
All right, Yaxu also doing one controller Giovanni. This is the only X defense we buy in the run. Gets used here. And
oh no!
Oh my god!
All right, that's a bad crit, but that is the best turn to get crit is turn 1. If you're gonna get crit, turn 1 is the one you want it on. All right, we're good.
All right,
Unfortunately, probably gonna have to heal before Rival 5 because of quick attack, but through the fight.
Yeah, it does look like Yaxo's going to go for the 1C strats the entire way.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time last year coming up with some safer strategies for endgame, which at the cost of like less than a minute total, you can have almost a completely safe endgame. But obviously, safety costs a bit of time. And there are cases where it's like, oh, optimally you only lose like 5 seconds, but you could lose 25, depending on certain mechanics in the game. So it's definitely a choice to make. If you're this far
127
ahead,
speed does not outspeed. Wait, 120.
how does he only have 127
Was it 129?
speed? I
If
was
it's
gonna
129,
say.
you're fine.
I was gonna say.
Yaxo also does have to heal here for the quick attack range. Gonna do on a max roll, it would do 25 damage, so it do have to heal.
Yeah, absolutely have to heal.
Blame the pixel fees, very, very valid, very valid.
Yeah, so Yaxo healing up there. Not too bad of a time loss. You want to come out of this fight at full health anyways, so you normally would just take one of the turns to heal in battle. Instead, you can just do it after. Otherwise, Mocha is going to make their way over to Koga as well.
$135, $137.
Great looking star. There is a small optimization you can do on the EV side, where if you have 130, no, you need 140 speed on Yaxu's fight. And if you have 140 speed, you can skip the X speed because you outspeed the Raichu. It doesn't save that much time. It's like just a matter of not having to go into your bag for a turn, but it is a nice optimization to know, regardless.
It's also where you could go the risky strat and 1C, but don't do that.
It saves so much time if it works.
If it works.
Yeah.
That way, if you had a guard spec there, that would absolutely work.
No, the strategy
When I
is
started running this game, we bought an X accuracy for that fight.
yes, we did.
Could you
Doing
imagine
X-
going guard spec, X spec, X spec, and go?
No, you just X-spec once and go. That's all you need.
Yep.
You X-spec once. If you get sand attacked, you X accuracy, and then you just go. You have to hit a hydro pump on the Raichu. But it's so fast if it works. Is there an X accuracy we can pick off the ground? I need to know this. Hold on.
The answer is yes.
I feel like there has to be, right?
There is, yes. I don't remember where. It's in my Haunter.
Oh, there's one in the
notes.
underground path. Oh, you'd have to decide so early to do that. And then there's there is one in Mansion, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, my Haunter alt main gets it because Haunter on Archer 2 is bad.
Third floor, far east of Scientist Brayden. Who the heck is that?
We were just talking about how we don't know the names of NPCs.
Who is? Oh, I'm assuming Scientist Brayden is. So when you go down the ladder to go to Ted, I think that scientist right there. So you'd have to go past him, which is not a thing. So never mind.
Yaxo 2 controlling Naomi.
Yeah, back to things that matter.
Yes.
That would be like the perfect time to pick up the X accuracy though, because you would know at that point, like, oh, okay,
Yes,
I
you would.
I can do this.
Just mount skip him in the middle of
Dynam's like, be right back. I'm confirming this. Does this work?
Oh my god, I want to know what that range was on the Kangaskhan.
Wait, did it just KO the Kangaskhan?
Yeah,
Yaxo
it did.
just KO'd.
Oh man. Alright, I've got my calc open still.
Rich get richer.
Oh my god. That Kangaskhan
Do we know what
is a really bad range.
Do we
You
know
have,
what
like,
the special
0.
attack was? At worst, it's 121 special attack.
Yaxo, do you know what the special attack was? If you can hear us. I'm unsure. I did not catch it.
Well, that would have been at worst a 7 in 16 range. In addition to being a 20% accurate move, or a 80%. It feels like 20% sometimes.
Wow.
It's not 20% to hit, it's 20% to miss.
Oh my god. Alright, Mocha is through Koga. Diego is starting Koga, so they're pretty close together, actually.
I know, this is going to be an exciting race for second place.
Exo likely going to have to bubble scald this Hypno. And getting put to sleep is kind of annoying.
Good avoid there. Optimally, you want to go for double Thunderbolt here, but if you go for the first Thunderbolt and the second one doesn't look like it's going to kill, you can just finish off with the Scald. I believe every special attack you can do that.
Yes.
And Thunderbolt first is better for two reasons. One is the second Pokemon is Slowbro, so you could just mash into the Slowbro as well. But also because we didn't talk about it this run too much, but there's a little thing in the game where if a Pokemon is statused in battle, there can sometimes be a little bit of an extra animation that plays before the next turn goes off. And we call that status lag. And that's just annoying to have to deal with. And Thunderbolt is only 10% to status the opponent, where Scald is 30%. And Scald also, because it's a burn, has the other extra animation of it being like a ticking HP bar. So you just, if you can avoid it, then you kind of want to.
So Mocha is about a minute 16 ahead right now.
Okay. Yaxo going for Alexa skip. See how this goes.
The most nerve-wracking of the skips. Because it's
Very
easily
beautiful.
done.
Beautiful. That is not considered a mount skip. even though you kind of like use the mount to do it. It's the mount skips are very different, so that is still allowed in this category. And thank God it is, because Alexis sucks.
The fight
Yes.
is miserable.
Never mind that she does have the best poke of all time, but you don't want to face it.
Oh no! No!
Say it.
My VGC player instincts like kicked in there. Yeah. So if you get frozen on the fight, you can just scald.
Yeah. Scald will thaw you out.
Scald will.
Assuming I was okay for friendship later on, I probably would have X specialed again and then scalded, but because that way you would,
Because +4 does guarantee.
yeah. Although I guess it doesn't matter. You can just scald and thaw and then scald again, and it will go down. I don't know. Since learning that scald dethaws, I've never been frozen. So I've never been able to put it to the test.
Yes, Scald will always defrost. So if anybody ever gets frozen, Scald. It works. Either Scald twice, or like Etta said, you can go to +4 and then Scald.
I didn't see Yaxo's HP. I don't know if they're in heal range for Dawson.
Mocha
they're
going
hit-
YOLO.
They're in the yellow.
Yeah, they may need to heal. If they don't heal before the battle, they may have to heal during. It's one of those unfortunate battles where you take damage turn 1, and then something later on has priority. So,
All right, now will Mocha hit the range, or are they even solid enough to psychic? Is the question.
definitely can't psychic, but
I think
the
Scald
Hydro
should-
It
Pump
easily hits. Okay, they're good.
Yeah. I think if they were level 50, they could have psychic. Would not recommend getting. Dynam, what do they have? What does Scientist Braden have? I will do an extra fight to do a faster version of Rival. Alright, never mind.
Oh my god,
don't-
that's awful.
I do not want to do that fight anymore.
I will 100% and never mind.
Wow, that fight is miserable.
For the viewers on YouTube, by the way, please hit subscribe. The fight is the level 45 Weezing, Magneton, and Magmar, so do not want to do that.
What? I
So
thought you
there's
loved that fight.
There's Yaxo doing the heal because of Aqua Jet.
Diego taking the safe route on Samuel.
All right, so Yaxu opting to skip the full restore. So the traditional way of doing Elite Four involves picking up a full restore at the end of Victory Road and using that on Agatha. By skipping that, it means one of two things. You're either banking on a 36% chance to get Power of Love and heal off your what's it called? Paralysis. Or you are planning to do a safer 2-controller version of Agatha.
And we get another crit turn 1 on Mocha's side.
Giovanni, just calm down. Also, I think
We
if I'm
saw
not
Crisis
mistaken,
die to Giovanni earlier in the last race.
yeah, we did. I think if I'm not mistaken, Diego did this gym out of order. And is actually going to have to do a couple of optionals because of that. So this is actually the way Game Freak intends you to do this gym. You basically are baiting this trainer, Tamer Cole, if you remember from earlier, to walk forward. So that way you can sneak in behind him and take those blue spinner pads. But the downside is because you came at it this way, you can't get past him without going up, and if you go up, you have to fight 2 more trainers. So I'm thinking that, yeah, Diego kind of has to do that. He's currently just trapped in the gym.
No.
This is definitely unfortunate. This is
Can
the
you still-
third time in
Can you
2
still
days that
rope
we've
out of
seen this,
gyms?
actually.
In this game?
You cannot, no.
Oh. I mean, I don't think any of these fights are like dangerous or anything. I think they're all like one Pokemon.
Can you Abra teleport out if we had an Abra?
Yeah, you
I
unfortunately
think
do have to go
Diego's
all the way around.
realizing I can't hear. That's unfortunate.
It's probably not quicker to die.
No, it's definitely.
Yeah.
The other thing that is weird about dying, and this actually happened to Kerbis in the race last night, is because you have fought Tamer Cole, if you leave and come back in, no matter what, even if he didn't walk forward to you, he will be walked forward. So you have to remember to go back behind him to take those blue spinner pads.
And you can dodge Samuel entirely that way. Yes.
And then you could dodge Samuel that way, yeah. Like it wouldn't be faster, but something you could theoretically do would be to fight. No, I guess there is no good way to do that.
There
If you-
would be a really cool strat you could do, but unfortunately Game Freak thought about that.
Yeah.
In this game, if you have the second controller summoned, trainers will walk to the second player instead of from the second player.
Oh no, Diego ran into the thing I was just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so if you have the second controller summoned, NPCs will walk to where the second player is and then start the fight. So what you could do is use the second controller to block that guy. But unfortunately, Game Freak thought about that, and it just dismisses your second player if you run in front of that guy. The dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Mocha is currently through, is about to get through Rival 5. Actually entered with pretty good HP from Giovanni.
Didn't even have to heal.
Yeah. So a good
Means
thing
they can now
about
heal
doing
here.
this fight, if you don't have to heal, is you can use the last turn of this fight to heal in 2 controller, which you wouldn't be able to do if you use the next accuracy.
130 at 52. Not
That is not so good, yeah.
That is a 11 of 16 on Dragonite at worst right now. Okay, we'll get better than this. So actually, that's not the worst. It's not
Yeah, I
nearly
think-
as bad as we would have thought. They definitely got some AVs.
Yeah, they absolutely got some AVs. And like we said, you should be doing 2 controller stuff. Yeah, there we go. So
Yep.
Mhm.
That's really nice.
Bruno, is it the end of the Bruno fight or the Agatha fight where the friendship bonuses start to kick in, like where you get Power of Love and you get the stat bonus?
it is, well, all right. Technically, the Power of Love and the stat boost are on different thresholds. They're like 3 apart from each other. But essentially, after Bruno, you have enough friendship to start getting these friendship turnarounds. So you're going to notice here, because you use a super effective move, Starmie is super happy and turns around to say thank you or something. I don't know. It's weird. And yeah, so that's about 2 seconds every time you use a super effective move, every time you heal in battle, and every time it gets knocked down to low health. The benefit of it is you also have a increasing chance to shake off status conditions and like live a hit that you normally would die from. But those friendship turnarounds are why you're going to see Yaxo using Scald here. You can just Psychic the rest of this fight, but by Scalding and going up to +4, you can skip those turnarounds and it ends up being a bit faster.
Meanwhile, Diego's through Giovanni.
Yeah, Diego's through Giovanni, which is very nice. Still a little bit behind Mocha, especially with the mishaps in the gym, but
yep.
Depending on how Mocha plays the end game, it still could go anyway.
Yeah, the perfect version of the Agatha fight, because this is where we can start getting those power friendship bonuses. The perfect version of this fight, you would do one controller, get glared turn 1, and then turn 2 take a crunch, and then you just heal yourself of paralysis and go.
All right, so now moving on to Lance. Traditionally, Lance is a pretty dangerous fight. The way that you are normally going to do it is you set up an X special defense because Hyper Beam does a lot of damage. And then you set up to +2 speed and +6 special attack. And even at +6, some stars, especially ones like Yaxo's here, don't even guarantee a one-shot on the Dragonite. So in addition to dodging crits the whole time, you're also trying to make sure you hit that range. With 2 controllers, you don't have to worry about that X special defense. You just sort of beef up your star alongside the Lapras. And then when the Dragonite comes out, Dragonite is always last. You'll always be at +6 on the Starmie. And you can use a move like Ice Shard from Lapras just to chip it in if you need it, or use something else if you don't need that extra damage. So yeah, very nice, safe fight. I think the only danger here is like a Hyper Beam crit, depending on your star, could kill you. But you need like a
if you
really
are
bad
started,
star.
you're going to be killing him anyway. You're fine.
Yeah.
$133. That is a 12 to 16 range.
So yeah, even though 12 and 16 is pretty likely, I think I would take the quote-unquote time loss and Ice Shard anyways.
I would as well.
Oh, what happened to Diego?
Oh no.
We lost the Starmie.
Wait, did they not X speed?
Oh, maybe they
did
didn't
not
X
do
speed.
the X speed.
Oh no.
Yeah, something that's changed as of Generation 8, but with this being a Gen 7 game, is still a thing, is...
Oh, that's what they did. They X speeded on the Jolteon. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
you have to X speed the turn before.
Speed changes don't apply on the turn of, they apply the turn after, so the way that we have that fight, you basically always are going to X special turn 2.
You
or
always
X-speed
speed turn 2.
To make sure that it's up before Jolteon comes out. Jolteon can't come out second.
Wait, why did Diego spawn in Vermilion?
They took a center heal after after Blaine. Yeah.
Yeah, so it came out second, came out third. The issue was you have to take X speed turn 2. You cannot do it turn 3 or you will get out sped. X speed will take place the turn after.
And Mocha is through Alexis.
Clean.
Very good Alexis, yeah. Alright, so Yaxo is on the champion fight. One thing, in most Pokemon games, the like the major characters in the game, like champion, gym leaders, and stuff, they will actually use their ace Pokemon last. For whatever reason, in this game, they use their ace Pokemon first.
Yep.
Which makes this fight incredibly difficult.
But Yaxo has a very clean fight the rest of the way through.
They will
This
have to go
actually
to
still
+6
might
for the
PB
Jolteon.
here. It's going to be close, but this is going to be a solid, probably 305.
I think so. Yeah, I think his PB is like a 305.07, so I don't think it'll quite get there, but
It's still a fantastic run from Yaxo.
absolutely, especially with like a lot of the stuff that happened. Like this star is just abysmal.
It is.
Is one of the stars of all time. Alright, so Diego is through Rival 5.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mocha is still very much on PB pace.
What's his PB again?
Close. 318, 319?
319, I believe.
It'll be close. I think it can happen. I think it'll be close. And that is GG's for Yaxo. Really solid time.
That's
It's about a
despite Mocha
minute.
having a lot of several optionals and arguably the worst optional on 21.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
GG's Yaxo. Yeah, this is a late 305. Not quite PB, but very, very good run. Not bad for 4 a.m. indeed.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
We should be getting Yaxo in here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something's up with the stream. Obviously, we've got the other ways of retiming. According to race time, it is a 3:05:40 for Yaxo. So
305.
GG's.
Okay.
yeah, that is
Really.
very solid time. One of the better times in round 2 for sure. So definitely something to be proud about.
Yeah. Yaxo is very quickly proving to be a absolute threat in this tournament. Oh, absolutely, Amber. Absolutely.
All right, so Diego starting the first fight in Victory Road, getting through the Kangaskhan on Naomi, while Mocha heads into the Elite Four. We'll probably see a lot of similar strategies from Mocha that we're seeing, or that we just saw from Yaxo. Just with, going a little bit on the safer side. Although I say
the
that,
Rapidash.
pausing the Rapidash, going for PB here. I respect it.
I respect. They're far enough ahead here. I don't mind that strat. I don't
Mocha saying
mind it.
YOLO in the chat. There it is.
They can absolutely go to +4 here on Lorelei, which is really nice. You need 143 to guarantee the range, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty close. if not at it. But they're going for it. I do not know what they were at. It should be pretty close, given they were at 130, 135. Oh, absolutely. So they're within reach of PB. I don't fault it at all. Go for PB. And there's the range.
Hello.
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 GGs.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, but really bad Starmie. Really good run until Starmie. After Starmie, though, disaster. Yeah, but pretty happy overall with my execution, so... Yeah.
Really good, like really smart play going to +6 there, though.
Oh, on Agatha, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's faster. I don't know.
Real one on Pika, then go on Eevee. Yes. Go to the better game.
There's a chill run different for my main DS category, which is very hard.
Clean.
Speaking of clean Alexa skips, Yaksu may have had one of the best Alexa skips I've seen in this tournament. That was an extremely clean one. Definitely happy to see that.
Thank you.
It's funny. I feel like the Alexa skips are either the cleanest ones you'll ever see or the most stressful ones you'll ever see, and there's nothing in between.
I generally try to take it as safely as I can. Like I don't trust that skip. Mocha's also very close to PB pace, so like going YOLO and one seeing here, I don't fault it.
Yeah, the nice thing is if you YOLO, go for it, and something goes wrong, you have that backup save to go back in. PB's off the table. Let me just get my second controller out and go for the safer strats. All right, so no power
Standard
of love.
fight. Did not get the crunch drop, which is good. And then just clean. Standard Agatha fight.
Alright, okay, we go to sleep.
Yeah, no worries. Get some sleep. Have a
Absolutely.
good night.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. And good luck to Mocha and Diego for the end. Goodbye, guys.
Right.
All right.
4 a.m. in the morning is get some sleep.
yeah, some of our races unfortunately just end up in time zone hell, trying to get scheduled. So, but
It's gonna be
luckily,
interesting next round because we have a few people with 1 point and a number with 0. So I would imagine the ones can get matched with 0s.
yeah, the way that the format will work, it basically goes from the top down. So it'll be there's I think 3 people with 6 points, so they'll definitely get matched up, and then it'll be 5s, and then there'll be like a couple of 5s that match with 4s, and then 4s with 3s, like that. So it definitely could happen.
Which could actually, in theory, pit like JT, Sheep, and I.
It's definitely possible. Yeah. I just-
Hydro is fine. You just don't want to get Hyper Beam crit. Takes the heal here. There's a Hyper Beam. Okay, that's fine. I think that's her last expect.
Yep.
Right. And they're clean through because they do have enough special attack. We're about. We will find out here rather shortly.
Yeah.
$148. Yes, they can. It's a 11 of 16 on the +2.
Yeah, it's definitely an option.
+4 psychic is probably enough to win at 16.
All right. So
Yeah, actually, wait, no, they're guaranteed at +4 psychic. Never mind, I read that wrong.
yeah. +4 is like.
I read 128. It was 148. No, they're guaranteed at +4 psychic. Yeah.
Yeah, and so just responding to something from chat, yeah, the round 3 draw will likely be right after the race on Saturday, which we'll talk about at the end of the thing. But just plugging it here, if anyone does have moments from this round, either in your own races or races that you watched, that you think would be a good fit for like a little mini highlight video sort of thing, definitely don't hesitate to throw them our way in the Discord. We've got a good collection of clips and stuff, but always happy to include what other people may find as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mocha just starting champ here. Very much, it's close to PB. So we said it was a 319, just behind. Okay.
All right, so this fight, very similar to Lance. You're going to set up an X special defend. The one difference is this Pidgeot is almost always going for Air Slash. It's not like the roulette of moves like Lance's Seadra has.
You mean Heat Wave doesn't exist?
Heat Wave does not exist.
There's the heal.
Pidgeot does have quick attack, so you do have to heal.
They're going +4. Okay. And they're clean. Oh, going +4 Scald! It works.
Yeah, there's nothing more tragic than being on PB pace. You're through champion, and then you click Psychic on the Slowbro because you have one left.
No. Mega Pidgeot is that fast.
Yeah, Pidgeot and the... You also don't outspeed the Raichu. Yeah, the Raichu is 161. Rapidash, some stars don't even outspeed the Rapidash, believe it or not. It has 152.
Uh, 320. Mid 320. GG's.
GG's. It's got to feel good coming off a DNF from last round. So,
And
awesome to
This
get a
is
time
a
up there.
320 with a lot of optionals and one really, really bad optional that ended up in a wipe.
And it was minus attack. It's an unrunnable Eevee. So, definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, that definitely shows Mocha's right there knocking on the door of like a 315.
All right. Meanwhile, while Mocha finishes up here, Diego is, it looks like, through Agatha. That's GG's for Mocha.
GG's. Yeah, mid 20, 320.
I guess it'd help if I had push to talk on.
Hey, welcome in. GG.
Thank you. That was fun. Having to hit that swimmer, and
Oh, no, yeah.
it was optional city today.
It really was. Like a 320, just a minute off of your PB with all of those optionals has to feel good.
And having to take a wipe there.
Yeah. Yeah, that, unfortunately.
And no Rhyhorn.
And no Rhyhorn. I forgot about that, yeah.
There's so much time saved just off of this run, and you're only a minute behind. You're
It's
315.
wild.
You're knocking on the door of 315.
My stream title is, again, sub 310 and I learn Pika. That's my goal, is to learn, is to get sub 310.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I honestly, so many, like, you guys have all started really, really quickly. I could see all of you being sub 310 within the month.
Yeah, it's to think I started this a month ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm already like, my PB is a
Sub 320.
320, 319, yeah, 319 flat.
Which is really solid considering it took me, God, nearly a year to get sub 320. Yeah, no, sub 320 in a month is really good. Really, really good.
Diego
And
going
there's the classic 2C strat.
All right.
Yeah, so there's two ways to do this fight two controller. The way Yaxo did it was to start two controller with Lapras and do an X speed and an X special on the first turn. This version of the fight is the one that I had come up with actually from last year, where it really doesn't matter who your partner is, but you summon the second controller mid-fight. And the reason for that is you unfortunately need to be at +2 special to get rid of the Seadra, and you need to be at +2 speed because Aerodactyl comes out second. And there's just no way for you to set up 2 X items safely in a single turn while also attacking. So the Lapras version of the fight takes advantage of the fact that Lapras is so freaking tanky and is able to tank one of those hyper beams if it happens to come its way. So, and it ends up putting it at nice health for champion sacrifice, all that kind of stuff. But the two versions of the fight are like roughly the same amount of time. It's just sort of what you've got out in your party at the moment. Yeah, should be straightforward lance. Dragonite's definitely not a range. I think I saw 147 special, so. We just have champion.
Which I hazard a bet we will probably see the safe strat on champ.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just getting a time up on the board. The time to beat is Diego's time from last round was a 3:33. So assuming nothing wild happens here,
Significantly beating that time.
should be significantly beating it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yes. Yep, so this is definitely the safe strat, which will start X speed, X spec. You don't even set up an X spec.
So while this is going on, Mocha, I know you primarily did a lot of Scarlet Violet stuff. How are you liking Let's Go in comparison to the Scarlet Violet runs?
It is vastly different. So I run Path of Legends. Yeah, Path of Legends fan everywhere. And compared to 6 fights, having all this is definitely different.
Well, nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a different run. Once you get used to having this many fights and all of the catch routes, there's probably a good reason why this is the most popular Pokemon speedrun.
Yeah, at least for the Switch console.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. Having to learn this run. I've been wanting to learn it for a bit, and this just gave me reason to learn it.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of what the tournament's all about. It's like getting everyone who wanted to learn the run into it. Everyone who sort of already knows the run. Like I wouldn't be running this right now if the tournament wasn't happening. It's just sort of gives us all a reason to come back to the game. And the people who are watching, there's a number of people who either basically found the tournament after the fact, like from the YouTube videos or whatever, or watched the tournament last year and decided to pick up the game, learn it, and have joined again this year. So that's really all we sort of want out of the tournament.
I think we have a bigger pool of racers this year than last year.
I think the number's a little bit less, but we have more
Newer players.
Yeah.
Well, because like we had like say Matt and others last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 30 people this year. I think it was 39 last year. But yeah, I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing.
I don't either, especially with
I
so many
think-
new runners like Mocha, Yaxo, Diego, everybody. It's really nice to see so many new people coming into the game.
I would have signed up for this as well. I just unfortunately was working LA regionals that weekend. I just didn't have just was a little busy to do it.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
And yeah, this is GG's for Diego. So
GG's.
Diego 3.
Should be a nice solid
mid
time.
329. Or actually maybe a low 329.
Yeah, I think this is a very low 329.
So I just checked out my star. Also, GG Diego.
Hello.
Hello,
Thanks.
GG's.
Thanks.
So Giovanni's gym, kind of unfortunate, huh? It's such a bad puzzle.
At one point, Diego, you were about a minute 16 behind Mocha, and then Giovanni's gym happened.
Happy Spain. I don't know. My head is like, I don't know how to say. I forget how to speak English in this moment. Sorry. I just this is awful run.
And you still beat your round 1 time.
I guess that Pika was minus attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and plus speed. I guess. I never run a bad Pika.
Yeah, running a minus on Pika when you're not used to it is definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a learning curve. Especially in races where you may just be like, look, and you know what? I don't care what I have to just go here. I can't afford the time loss on resetting, which is about 45 seconds, roughly.
Yeah. Depending on how fast you can get into the game. But yeah, it's unfortunate. You also had a little bit of experience issues early on, which didn't help things. Having to grab the rare candy in Cerulean. It was a good backup for sure.
It was a very good backup.
Yeah.
What is it?
Especially since that start, like that Pika just wasn't going to cut it against rival.
I will say, learning those, like doing runs like that, you'd learn a lot of like cool backups that you can apply
really
to like
do.
later runs.
You and Mocha both did a really good job finding backup ways to get around things, and GG's all around.
Absolutely. Additionally, Diego, are you still doing the Spanish restream as well?
I will try for the third round. I was in organizing a marathon, so I was busy.
Mm.
And now I'm free. I will try to come to restream some match in Spanish. Let's nugget. What is the nugget I missed?
Did you pick up the nugget in Moon?
I think. Moonstone, nugget.
Because you're guaranteed to get the nugget off of Nugget Bridge. And then you pick up the one in Underground.
Seems like I missed the nugget in Moon and Timon because
That-
I got the hidden.
Yeah, if you got the underground, then you missed the one in Moon.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes if like things are chaotic. You go slightly off path to get like something spawned on
Yep.
the right side of the room, and then it just throws off the rhythm. So that can definitely happen.
Yeah, you walk in and you see like a Clefairy immediately, and you're like, "Ooh, I want to go get that," and then you just forget about the nugget.
Yeah, it was a good backup there.
That's a good backup. The nugget on the Sylph. Sylph, no,
On the SSN,
on
yeah.
the vault.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice backup to get if you don't get it. And doesn't lose a lot of time.
all right. Well, any final thoughts from the runners on the race? We thought it was a blast to watch. So
It was a good run.
Yeah, we had
Good
we had
race.
fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to show everyone how slow the swimmers can swim. That's really why I hit that optional there.
oh yeah,
That's fair. We were talking about that, so they are slow. You do not want to hit the swimmers.
No.
But GG, Diego, and Yaxel on this. It was fun.
GG's.
And hopefully both of you knock out a PB next race.
Hope
all
so.
right.
All right. Well, we do have one more race left for this.
We do.
With this one, give me just 1 sec before I
It will be coming up on.
switch over to it.
Yeah, it should be one more race on
we go.
Saturday. Saturday, like 10 a.m. Eastern, I think it is.
10 Eastern,
Yeah,
correct.
10 o'clock Eastern. Over on PSR TV 1.
Between Taxity, Yaz, and ALW. Should be a really good race.
And then probably shortly after that, we should have the draws.
Yeah, it'll probably be similar to last round, where when the race finishes and commentators do their sign-offs, we'll go live with the draws. And that'll be where we schedule out the round 3 matches. So you definitely don't want to miss that.
Nope.
We're about halfway through the Swiss tournament right now, the Swiss portion.
Yep, 2 more rounds of Swiss.
No, that means we get to play slots again.
It does mean we get to play slots again. Everyone's favorite. All right.
All right. Well, if that's all,
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
alrighty, guys.
We will-
Well, appreciate everybody tuning in for the second to last race of the round. Yeah, make sure you
You'll-
tune in on. Oh God, what is the 15th? Is that a Saturday?
Saturday.
That is on Saturday, yes.
Yes. Okay. Make sure you all tune in on Saturday for the last race of round 2, and then shortly after we'll have the draws for round 3. Yeah, other than that, guys, we'll see you all on Saturday for the last round, for the last match of round 2.